Geographical restrictions apply. Conditions at ocado.com. Verify at info@ocadaretail.com.
I love the National, but absolutely zero strategy behind who I choose.
I back the outsider. To be honest, my favourite name.
However you pick your Grand National horse, Betfred. Place an each way bet online on this year's Grand National and we'll pay out if your horse finishes in the top 7 places. Love the National, Betfred. Online only, 7 places, 150 odds, apply 16 1. Multiple bets placed between 12 p.m. April 11th to 4 p.m. April 13th. Winner each way market only, best odds guaranteed, does not apply, 18 plus gamblerware.org.
And here's Rory McIlroy on the 18th at Augusta.
And here it goes. Surely not.
Some things are worth shouting about. Watch all 4 days of the Masters exclusively live on Sky Sports. Get all of Sky Sports for £22 extra a month. See sky.com for details. New 18-month contract Sky TV required. Further terms apply.
Here they are, the racing lovers of the UK, phone in hand, ready to play the Coral Reward Shaker. Look at them shake. We've got the regulars at the racecourse shaking their phone with confidence. And look, they've won a free bet. Parents on a day out just having to be here. They've got it too. An odds booster for them. Lovely stuff. Everyone the winner. Play Coral's free reward shaker this Grand National Festival to win guaranteed daily rewards and offers. Coral, we're here for it.
18 plus UK. Max 1 reward or offer per player per day. Reward restrictions, requirements and T's and C's apply. Take time to think.
On average, Rift get their customers free grand bike. Let's get the ball rolling. Search Rift tax refunds.
Half-term traffic, dentist appointment, visiting the in-laws. With Mazda, electrify even the most challenging trips. The all-electric Mazda MX-30 is available to finance for £199 per month, with 0% APR representative and a £6,000 deposit contribution. Electrify the everyday. Search Mazda MX-30. Mazda Financial Services, PCP over 48 months, deposit of 4677, optional final payment of 7965. Indemnities may be required.
Imagine delicious crispy chicken McNuggets. Go on, picture them now. Imagine if you could get 6 of them for just $2.49. How about 9 for just $3.49? Or 20 of them for just $4.49? Woohoo! Well, now you can, but not for long. Get yours by the 16th of April. From 11 a.m. until 16th of April in store and by delivery. Delivery price uplift and fees applied. Subject to availability, price and anticipation may vary.
At Betfred, we want to support all our customers in keeping their gambling fun.
My nephew bets with his mates and they do their accas and everything together in his WhatsApp group. They all know how much the bet is.
We can all keep an eye on each other that nobody's going silly like that.
Never to us, but I actually go into a shot and we all spend the same. That's the rule.
Betting socially is just one of the ways that you can gamble safely.
What's your stick to?
5.
5 for each.
Yeah. 25 years ago, that 5.
How do you keep it fun? Gamble safely with Betfred.
Europa League live on talkSPORT with Village Hotels. With 33 locations across the UK, Village Hotels have everything under one roof for a great breakaway.
The passion, the pain, and the poetry of the beautiful game.
Overhead kick! Brilliant goal!
Europa League live on talkSPORT.
Nunez hits it brilliantly on the half volley and into the corner. Another emphatic finish from Liverpool's red-hot number 9.
People expect us to fly through this competition.
And Liverpool lead by 2 goals to 1. Luis Diaz on the end of it.
Liverpool the favourites to win it. Atalanta's tricky tie, certainly not one that they can take lightly. I'm sure they won't.
Atalanta lead after just 11 minutes in Bergamo.
The fans are desperate to give the manager a magical send-off. The players want to do that anyway, and that's a given.
This time it is in, and he is going to win the Carabao Cup final for Liverpool.
And the Europa League in Dublin, you feel like that's meant to be.
You're listening to Kick-Off Live on talkSPORT with Ladbrokes. We play together, terms and conditions apply. It's 18 plus. BeGamble.org. Tonight we're at Anfield to see if Liverpool can continue their assault on the Europa League. Sparta Prague dismissed 11-2 on aggregate in the last 16. And now Atalanta have made the trip from northern Italy, hoping to avoid a similar fate. On paper, it should be much closer, but this Liverpool team is always capable of blowing the opposition away, albeit they're also very liable to concede of late. Kick-off in the quarter-final first leg is coming up very, very shortly. I'm Hugh Wilsoncroft alongside Sam Matterface and the former England striker Dean Aston. The rain has stopped. The skies have cleared over Anfield just for the moment ahead of what should be a very important tie. Let's go back, Dean, to that fact we mentioned a few moments ago, though. Both ends of the pitch for Liverpool, goals going in. Liverpool have scored at least twice in each of their last 5 games in all competitions. They've missed big chances recently. Across the last 3 games, 7 goals from 87 shots. That's a conversion rate of 8%. Their average across the 31 Premier League games they've played, 11.5%. That means in the top half of the table, only Manchester United and Brighton have a worse conversion rate than Liverpool, who were top until this weekend. What is going wrong when it comes to their goal-scoring department? Despite the fact, by the way, they're second highest scorers.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It just shows how many chances they do create. Well, you can either look at it in 2 ways. You can either say, well, like a striker, you know, as long as you're getting in the positions, eventually they'll start to go in. And maybe that it's just one of those moments where they've just struggled in recent games, and all of a sudden they'll turn and start smashing the goals in once again. Or you could ask the question of, are the players good enough? You know, in terms of recruitment, have you brought in players that are clinical in front of goal? That is a question you could certainly say. I think when Liverpool buy players, and especially the forward players, I think they have to be more than just goal scorers. Klopp demands so much of you as a player that it's almost like you can't just be a goal scorer.
I wonder how many goals they would score if they weren't missing these chances. They've got 127 goals this season in all competitions. That's more than anybody else in all competitions in the top 5 European leagues. They have more goal involvements than any other team in Europe's top 5 leagues from the bench. They've got an array of talents that is available to them. I think it's been a problem in the last couple of weeks, but I do believe that they get enough goals for it not to be a major concern.
The question is really, though, are these forwards that they've brought in very good forwards?
They've got 127 goals.
No, but listen, as individuals, listen, Sam, when you talk about people winning big trophies again and again, you can look to their forward line and there are guaranteed goal scorers in that key moment when a game is tight, whatever, you need a goal to get you over the line out.
Salah and Jota will score goals at the highest level.
No, and I know that. They have Mo Salah at this point in time in their squad. My point was about what they do when he leaves. Because Darwin Núñez, and it's crazy to think 23 goals in all competitions, only 11 of those in the Premier League, someone that they brought in for £85 million, nearing the end of his 2nd year at the club, we could still say needs to do more in front of goal, because I'm just looking at the squad and thinking, without him, who's going to be the Mo Salah? Who's going to fill the boots of an elite goal scorer? And I immediately gravitate towards him because he's got numbers there. He's even got a decent number of assists, and yet I still think, would he keep Liverpool at the very highest level? And that is a question that needs an answer, I think.
Well, I think there is improvement in Darwin Núñez, and he is still young enough that improvement can come with age, with understanding of the role, of the type of finishes you need, of the type of composure you need, that kind of ice coldness that you would see from a Harry Kane, a Lewandowski for me, who, you know, even a Son is someone I look at and think, you look like you're going to score even the hardest chances, and I think that's a big compliment to a player when they look like they're going to score the most difficult chances.
Just to interject for a moment and say, wonderful rendition of You'll Never Walk Alone inside Anfield right now. Of course, we know the familiar red and white flags being held aloft by all of the Liverpool support inside the stadium. But it has been mimicked by all of the travelling Atalanta fans as well, with their blue and black scarves above their head and paying due respect to what is a great atmosphere in world football.
I think it's worth pointing out that there are no flags in the Kop end away to our right-hand side. In fact, there are no flags anywhere inside the ground tonight, and there's a reason for that, because there's a huge protest amongst the Liverpool supporters over season ticket prices. The manager wants the situation resolved, believes it will be, but he asked that they concentrate their protests only to before the game. And as I speak now, the supporters in the Kop away to our right-hand side are bringing out a huge banner which is going to be held aloft in front of the Kop away to our right-hand side, which says no to ticket price increases, about season ticket prices that are going to be raised by 2% next year.
Another one alongside it as well, Sam, that says FSG Green. Now, Spinal Kop 1906, they're the group that organises the flags and banners. They're protesting against a third straight year of 2% price increases on season tickets, and that is why there are no flags here tonight. I have to say, it has split the fan base somewhat. Some fans believing they have a very important end to the season, Liverpool. They want the focus to be on supporting the team. And of course, it is Jurgen Klopp's final year at the club, and they don't want that to be marred in any way. It's a debate for the fans of Liverpool, I think, to have. For me, fans are within their right to protest if they feel unhappy with the football club. Actually, when you look at the remaining fixtures, this might be the one to do it, I have to say, because you feel like Liverpool would still be favourites tonight and in this tie. You don't want to disrupt the Premier League, which is incredibly tight right now. For you, Dean, is it something that you believe, you know, even though it could divide the fan base, they are right to do?
Yes, and this is the place to do it. Of course it is, with the eyes watching, the world watching, the media all here. This is the time to do it. You know, someone might correct me if I'm wrong, but that seemed like a very early rendition of You'll Never Walk Alone. As if it was planned in that way to then bring out the banners, and then it'll be taken away to leave it to the football and the players and make sure the
Slightly more complicated on European nights because there is a stipulation from UEFA that their anthem has to be played, the Europa League anthem has to be played as the players emerge onto the field. Now, and then after that there can be no more music. So usually at Anfield, the players come out with the Premier League anthem behind them, they line up, and then just before kick-off you have that anthem being played. That can't happen in European games, but it was interesting, as you said, towards the end of that, how then, almost sort of coming in off stage left, you had this coordinated sort of banner display.
I think you have to say as well, it's an interesting point in terms of the relationship with the fans, with the players. Jurgen Klopp saying, we don't want anything to get between us, he means his squad, and the supporters right now. If you were one of the players, would it be in any way a distraction?
No, I don't think so. You're too focused generally as a player. You've got so many things that you're thinking about. And let's be honest, once you become a player and the money that you earn, you completely forget what it's like to struggle and to use every last penny to do the thing that you love is and watching football for.
Yeah, it does change the atmosphere, I think. I think that it looks different. It looks different inside Anfield. Anfield usually has those rippling flags away to our right-hand side, depicting the heroes of years gone by, the European Cups, the managers that brought them. So it does change the way it feels inside the stadium without those flags waving away to our right-hand side. So that is a disappointment.
And of course, markedly, the huge banner that travels across the Sir Kenny Dalglish stand, Justice for the 97. It also points to all the great trophies that Liverpool have won, was not here and present this evening.
But look, listen, Liverpool Football Club has supporters that are one of the best at making their voice heard and making their point to the owners, and usually they win. Eventually they win because they're coming from a position of strength. They know that the 2% year on year eventually is going to hit their friends, family, colleagues in the pocket, and it will stop them from coming. And that's not what they want. They want their support to be local and working class, which is what this city is.
Spinal Cop 1906 have asked a hierarchy at the club to spare a thought for the real custodians of Liverpool. So there you go. Anyway, let's focus in on the football. Those banners have now been put away and all fans' eyes directed to the pitch where Liverpool are currently huddling and Atalanta are spread in their formation. We'll have more details on them very, very shortly. The supporters inside Anfield in fine voice. They're expecting a response after the draw against Manchester United that, who knows, may cost the Premier League title. Remember, West Ham versus Bayer Leverkusen live on talkSPORT 2, but I'll leave you with your commentators here on talkSPORT, the former England striker Dean Ashton and our chief football commentator Sam Matterface.
Well, when it comes to unscripted drama, this week's European action has been so captivating it would sweep the awards at most ceremonies. The thrilling 3-3 draw for Manchester City and Madrid. Arsenal's 2-2 with Bayern Munich kept us on the edge of our seats. But Liverpool will be hoping for more serene progress tonight, Dean Ashton.
Absolutely. The manager, Gasperini, said he was looking forward to this atmosphere, to coming to Anfield. The last time they came, there was no fans here. Well, be careful what you wish for. Liverpool can blitz you away here at Anfield. I've seen it too many times.
They can, and they're on the attack immediately with Darwin Núñez, who's going to probably play in from the left-hand side. The attack's won Musso's goal away to our left. They're in red this evening. Liverpool all in red, head to toe, against Atalanta in white with very thin black hoop pinstripes through the middle of their jerseys and thick black trim down the side. They are playing with three at the back, and they've picked the ball up in midfield, and Pasalic is looking to escape early. Canate is going to just move in front of Scamacca and get it back to Kelleher, who under pressure does well from the edge of his 6-yard box to play it towards the right-hand side, and Liverpool weave their way up the field. A long high ball up to Núñez, doesn't quite reach him properly. The Uruguayan loses out, but then they attack down the left, Liverpool instead, and it is a fast start to the game. Gakpo peels out towards the near touchline, then nudges the ball infield, gets the return from Endo, then weaves away from Pasalic, feeds Núñez inside the area, couldn't get away from the defender, and Ruggieri did enough just to put him off, and the ball spills into the arms of Musso away to our left-hand side, and it's Liverpool 0, Atalanta 0, but it's been a vibrant start, as it usually is when you get into this stadium.
Yeah, and it's a terrific bit of play from Gakpo. I really like him as a player. I think he'll be terrific in years to come for Liverpool. The positions he picks up, whether it's from the left or playing as a 9, as he did there, just drifting inside, lovely little back foot touch to take him away, crafty reverse pass into Núñez, who I thought needed to do better, just needed to get hold of that and size up the situation, and he just ran into the defender.
Kelleher is the Liverpool goalkeeper. Gomez, Canate, Van Dijk and Tsimikas the back four. Endo, McAllister and Jones in midfield. Elliott on the right, Gakpo on the left, and Núñez through the centre. For Atalanta, it's Musso in goal, Hine, Djibsiti and Derode. Zappacosta and Ruggieri as the wing-backs. Pasalic and Ederson in midfield. Koopmeiners and De Ketelaere and Scamacca in attack. And Atalanta attacking the Kop in the first half, and the ball is won back by Derode down that left-hand side, manages to nudge it into Scamacca. It might run through to De Ketelaere inside the area. It does run through on the edge of the 6-yard box, and I think it's smacked over the top by Pasalic from about 5 yards out. It's a golden chance.
Well, does it take a deflection? Because they've given a corner here. It was a brilliant ball, just flicked over the top. Elliott thought he was fouled. Liverpool stopped defensively.
Oh, it's a save. It's a save by the face of Kelleher. It comes off his face and goes behind. It's a massive moment in the tie, because Atalanta really should have taken the lead, and Pasalic, on any other given day, really should have scored.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have given Kelleher the opportunity to save it.
No, but the goalkeeper does exactly what he's trained to do, which is to shift across and dive across with whatever it takes to stop it.
Here's the corner in towards the near post, and it's then headed away by Gakpo. Comes back out to the edge of the area, but Liverpool's defensive vulnerability is exposed once again. The ball delivered into the box from the right side by Zappacosta. It's headed away by Van Dijk, and then it breaks upfield. There's a handball there by Derode. Referee has allowed play on because Gakpo has got beyond him, and now he's fed Núñez, who gallops towards the edge of the area, gets inside the box, goes on the outside, then delivers the ball into the area, which is saved by the goalkeeper. And really, you thought he probably should have chopped back in on his right foot there, Núñez, but he went on the outside instead, and that created a more difficult angle from which to get the shot in. But again, they went from conceding a big chance at one end to creating one at the other, Liverpool.
I mean, they are the best. They're the best when they're defending a corner. They're the best at then ending up with an attack themselves and a shot on goal. They're so quick, and they do gamble at times with players getting forward from their own defensive set plays.
Good ball by Canate into Elliott, who's down in the right wing position, pulls it back into the area, it comes back to McAllister, it's over the bar. What an opportunity for Liverpool to take the lead. Brilliant break down the right-hand side. Canate sent Harvey Elliott away, cut it back to the penalty spot, and arriving late was McAllister. He opened up his body and opened up his left foot, and he drove the ball over the top of the crossbar. At the other end, Kelleher's made a brilliant save from Mario Pasalic, the former Chelsea midfielder who spent 5 loan spells away from the Stamford Bridge club before settling in Bergamo, and that was a golden chance for him to give Atalanta the lead. And this is a team that have already knocked out the man who is the current favourite to replace Jurgen Klopp as the Liverpool manager, so they can't be taken lightly, Dean.
No, they can't, and it was a terrific save from Kelleher. But I tell you what, goalkeepers work so hard on those situations where it's flash the cross to the opposite side, they have to turn, move across their goal and spread themselves. But why then don't forwards and attacking players realise this? Why do they not spend time speaking to goalkeepers to realise this is what they're working on? I saw it last night at Portman Road when keeper Moore putting it in the area that the goalkeepers work on. If that's then low, Kelleher doesn't save it. It's these big moments in big games. Another miss for Liverpool as well. Great cutback from Elliott to McAllister, who's been so good in the last 2 months and just put it over with his left foot.
0-0 somehow at Anfield, and we've played just over 6 minutes on talkSPORT. Liverpool not been breezing through matches recently. Falling behind is something that happens with such regularity for them. It is frightening. They should be behind here, but they're not. Manchester United 2-1 up late on in their game on Sunday. They had a couple of shocks off Sheffield United early last Thursday when we were here. That kicked them into gear. And then the previous Sunday they went behind to Brighton. Even Luton scored here first. Here's Elliott over on the far side, swirling the ball back out towards the left edge of the penalty areas. Liverpool come on the attack with Tsimikas, who bends the ball over the goalkeeper's head, and then it just curled away from the far post and went out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. And Tsimikas, who's never scored a goal in regular time for Liverpool, did score the winning penalty in the FA Cup final, but in terms of in open play, he hasn't scored a goal for 6 years. He was playing for Willem II the last time he scored a goal.
Only Gomez has been on a longer streak than that. But it was a really disappointing cross. Great position, great ball over the opposite side from Elliott to Tsimikas. He gets his head up, and yes, it was close to going in from the cross, but I looked at Gakpo, I looked at Nunez. Neither one of them said anything. I think at times that's where you need to turn and say to your teammate, that needs to be better.
Is that something that comes with experience as well, though, that confidence to turn around and demand more from those around you?
Yeah, I don't think there's many players as Liverpool win it back.
Gakpo tries to take it away from Pasalic and then helps it forward. Actually, they should have brought the ball back for a free kick, and the referee does that, and congratulations to him. Turkey's Halil Umut Meler, who tonight's taking charge of this Europa League quarter-final first leg, brings the ball back after Gakpo was clearly fouled and then couldn't get up and release the ball where he wanted it to go, so it is a free kick to Liverpool, a good 13 yards outside the penalty area, wide on the right-hand side. It's a milky grey, light blue sky as the sun sets in Merseyside, the floodlights on, the pitch looking lush and green, and Jurgen Klopp standing, as he always does in his baseball cap, on the perimeter of his technical area, watching as Liverpool go up in formation to attack the goal in front of the Anfield Road stand where those blue-shirted Atalanta fans are. It's a delivered ball by McAllister in towards the far post. Gakpo's header goes up in the air and it's easily grabbed by Musso, and it will be cleared away by Atalanta. 8.5 gone on talkSPORT. And Atalanta, who won on their last visit to Anfield 4 years ago, behind closed doors, as Dean was saying, know that repeating that feat will be a harder task tonight. Liverpool have made pretty much smooth progress throughout the Europa League journey so far, and the winners of tonight's game will play Benfica or Marseille in the semi-final. I say the winner of tonight's game, the winner over 2 leg of this evening's tie. There are no goals in the Europa League so far, nothing in the Europa Conference League. Anything changes, we'll be back with Abigail Davis. Over on talkSPORT 2 tonight, remember West Ham are in action. They're coming forward, Atalanta here. The ball played down the right-hand side, and Kottmeiners is trying to get in behind Virgil van Dijk, who just sticks with him and allows him to slide out of play, and the two countrymen collide. The ball goes behind. It's a goal kick, which Liverpool immediately take. There wasn't even a pause for breath there, Dean. They want to get things moving quickly.
Yeah, it's the big strength of their side, is being able to just cut through teams when they're disorganised, when they're not ready for it.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why we've seen, especially in the last 18 months or so, such an increase in the number of muscle injuries that we've had. The fact that the play doesn't stop at all. It almost immediately restarts as soon as it goes out of play.
Yeah, I think it makes a great point, but also what's required now of players, you know, where I say, used to be able to get through a good 10 minutes of doing absolutely nothing. Not anymore.
Here is Gakpo trying to nudge the ball forward to Nunez. It's away by the centre-half, Isaac Hein, and out towards the far side. It's collected eventually by Elliott over on the far side and then sent back towards the left and then dismissed by Tsimikas, who has to scurry back to the halfway line, play it back infield before Ederson gets in front of Gakpo and forces Liverpool back towards the edge of their own penalty area, away to our right-hand side. Ooh. And then there's a bit of pressure from De Ketelaere on Kelleher, who shows some nifty footwork to get out of a tight situation. There is a foul on Tsimikas, which eventually the referee will call back and give a set piece for Liverpool 4, and we've played 11 minutes and it remains Liverpool 0, Atalanta 0, live on talkSPORT. Your hamstring's not up to the intensity of the modern game, is that what you were saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. There used to be a thing called a breather.
Yes, we don't get those anymore. It's, you know, and actually it sounds like we're sort of joking about it, really.
No,
Even technically, we've been totally serious.
Absolutely.
Because I do, when I do the TV commentary, the directors, the match directors, struggle to get in the replays in between the restarts.
Yeah.
It's very, very difficult for them to do that now, because they can't take a risk of allowing a replay to be going out once the ball goes back in play, because people play so short and out from the back so often that obviously chances get created.
Yeah.
Here is Koopmeiners coming forward for Atalanta, plays it out to the wide right into Ruggieri, cut back towards Koopmeiners again by De Ketelaere. Why didn't he turn and try and swivel that into the goal? It was open inside the penalty area, heads cleared away. Here's Scamacca, played in by Koopmeiners from the number 10 position, right down the middle of the 18-yard box, and then he sort of miscontrols it and gives it back to Kelleher. So a couple of half chances there. Offside flag is up against Nunez, but going back to the Atalanta attack, they were wide open, Liverpool at the back.
More than half chances these, you're absolutely right. Why does De Ketelaere not just take this on himself? He's very, very clever, I have to say, and it is a lovely Cruyff cutback towards Koopmeiners. But really, he's stood on the 6-yard line. All he has to do is change the position of his body, swivel and shoot towards goal. Instead, he's already thinking of the clever little bit of play, and he's taking it off Van Dijk here.
Yeah, Van Dijk's just been charged down by De Ketelaere. Out on this near touchline by the corner flag, attacking the goal away to our right, helped out now by Zappacosta, once at Chelsea, gets it onto his right foot, bends the ball into the box, it's away by Canate, picked up by Ederson in the centre of the park, and then turned back out towards this near touchline where it's collected by Jumciti and then sent down this near touchline. There's a foul there by Tsimikas. It's going to be a free kick on De Ketelaere, just a couple of yards in from the touchline, wide on the right. Liverpool 0, Atalanta 0, 13 minutes gone, but Liverpool certainly haven't had everything their own way. From a side that have actually gone through a bit of a spot of bother recently, 6 in Serie A. They've won just 2 of their last 9 games, lost the last 2, but it wasn't long ago that they were dismantling Scudetto winners Napoli. Free kick which will be taken on this near touchline by Koopmeiners. And he will swing it in left-footed, I think, towards the penalty spot. And Isaac Hine is up from the back. That's in there as well. The ball's delivered towards the far post, but it's too heavy. And it goes into the cop rather harmlessly, so we'll go off to the game at Villa Park, where there's been an early goal for talkSPORT's Abigail Davis.
There has indeed, from an out-swinging corner on the right-hand side. Ollie Watkins was there to meet it, to head the ball downwards into the back of the net. It's his 3rd opportunity in quick succession. This time he makes no mistake in firing Aston Villa into the lead. It's Villa 1, Lille 0, 14 minutes gone.
And you're listening to Liverpool 0, Atalanta 0 on talkSPORT in the Europa League, live with Village Hotels. Visit villagehotels.com. Here is Tsimikas, down the left, away by Hine. And then he makes a mess of it and almost gives it to Nunez. And Jumciti just puts it out of play on this near side as a result of that. And a bit of a panic, and Liverpool have got it back again. 0-0, open game. And I think it probably could be argued that Atalanta have had the better chances in the opening 15 minutes of this game.
They have, and I like the way they've set up defensively out of possession with both Scamacca and De Ketelaere just looking to get onto Canate, and especially Van Dijk. I've noticed teams do this more and more, where they try and stop it.
Jones, lovely ball into Nunez. Goalkeeper came, didn't know what to do, but he came out well enough to put Nunez off, and he shanks the ball well wide of goal and out for a goal kick away to our left. What a delicious ball. Inside left channel. Curtis Jones bending it round the back of the defence, beautifully weighted. Nunez ran onto it. He should have taken it round the goalkeeper and finished it. He didn't.
well, he's got to take it round the goalkeeper, or he's got to do that Henri finish where you just open your body up and just curl it just around the goalkeeper, because he's totally committed. He's tried to dink the ball from a straight on position, which is very, very difficult. It means you have to hit that perfectly with the laces. If you get that on the inside or the outside of your foot, it just spins away, and that's exactly what happened. It's a brilliant chance, and it's been well and truly wasted by Darwin Núñez.
And that was a good opportunity for Darwin Núñez, who has got 6 goals in his last 9 games, but he's missed a hell of a lot of chances in that period as well. Flag is up over on the far side for a collision involving McAllister and Pasalic, and it's going to be a free kick. It wasn't Pasalic, actually. I think it was Jerry over on the far side. It's going to be a free kick just left of the penalty area that Atalanta are defending in front of their supporters. Away to our left, they're taking up half the Anfield Road stand, the 2-tiered Anfield Road stand, which is completed this season and certainly adds an extra few decibels to the noise inside Anfield, which has turned into a very impressive stadium over the course of the last few years. This main stand is terrific. That Anfield Road end is similarly huge as they look to go down the other end now. Atalanta, and De Ketelaere gets towards the byline, then crashes into the advertising hoardings. Jones is on the escape. The ball's going to run here to Gakpo, and they immediately run forward, and Gakpo's ball down the left channel looking for Núñez is completely the wrong one, and it was telegraphed enough for Juncidia to step across and get it away, but Gakpo's won it back in a left wing position, played it just behind Endo, who does terrifically to hold on to the ball. Infield to McAllister. Endo sweeps it wide into the left wing position, and Tsimikas back into Endo once again, and Endo keeps things ticking over well. And I think he's been an excellent addition, actually, Wataru Endo, who has the ball once again on this near side. Here is McAllister inside left channel, back to the touchline. On the chalk of that is the blonde hair of Tsimikas, who has it tied back in a bun, up to the lanky, long, thinly limbed figure of Cody Gakpo, who looks to try and play, and McAllister, who's wrestled to the ground by a combination of Koopmeiners and De Ketelaere. And Liverpool have it again on halfway.
And you mentioned Endo, with him back fit again and playing very, very well. It really has released McAllister, hasn't it, into a more advanced position where I think he's much more comfortable, creative, can take it in tight areas under pressure, and actually is a goal threat too.
I think from a global point of view, if you look at the whole season, that's definitely the case. I saw McAllister here last Thursday night against Sheffield United. He played in Endo's role because Endo wasn't available, and he was terrific. He was absolutely superb. I think his confidence has gone through the roof because he's been able to play further forward, and as you say, he's contributed with more goals and more assists and just been probably in a more natural position for him. But his overall play and his tactical awareness, I think, has grown. And I spoke to Jurgen Klopp about him last Thursday night, and he said to me that's because from the minute he arrived at the club, he's been desperate to absorb the information that is required to fit into the structure of this team. It's a great quality to have. Atalanta have the ball. 0-0 the score. 19 minutes gone on talkSPORT tonight. talkSPORT 2 has West Ham against Bayer Leverkusen. We're keeping you in touch with Aston Villa against Lille, and Aston Villa are already in the lead in that game. The ball is out of play over on the far side, and it's away for a throw-in, which will be taken by Joe Gomez, who's in at right back tonight. It's such a stacked bench for Liverpool. They've got Luis Diaz, Szoboszlai, Salah, Jota, and Trent Alexander-Arnold all waiting in the wings. It'll be great for Liverpool to get those big playing players back towards the end of the season. I know that Jurgen Klopp has talked about Conor Bradley and some of the other youngsters. João Quansah, one of those, still being part of the first team squad as they go into this pivotal period. But having the wealth and the breadth of experience on the bench and in the squad for these key upcoming games is going to be vital for them as they challenge still on two fronts. Here is the ball with Endo infield towards Núñez, back to Jones. They've already won the League Cup. Can they win 2 more titles? It's possible. Gomez feels he was fouled by the retreating Pasalic, and on the edge of the centre circle, the referee is going to give a free kick for Liverpool, who were threatening to go up the other end again.
Yeah, and they're just doing everything so quickly. Every single free kick is just planted down on the floor and popped away, and just allowing then players like Elliott and Gakpo just to drift into really good positions where there's just Pasalic, who will drift out of that defensive midfield role, so it just leaves Ederson on his own.
Yeah, I've noticed actually that as the game has gone on, De Roon has just sort of started to follow Harvey Elliott around a little bit more, rather than be sort of stationed as the left centre half. He's just sort of drifted in with Elliott when Elliott's come in to pick the ball up, because he likes to get involved in the play. But De Roon wants to make sure that he's not allowed to get on the ball and try and dictate from that wide area. It's 21 minutes on the clock, Liverpool 0, Atalanta 0. You're listening to talkSPORT. And it's a throw into Liverpool, down in front of us, away to our right, on their left as they look at it, halfway inside their own half of the field. It's tossed in towards Gakpo, has his shirt pulled by Isaac Hine, and it's going to be a free kick just short of the halfway line. It might well be our first yellow card. It's certainly going to be a talking to, at least, for Hine from the Turkish referee. A bit cynical, that, wasn't it?
Slightly, but I think not enough necessarily for it wasn't an immediate counter-attack for Cody Gakpo. But you mentioned that with De Roon going in with Harvey Elliott. Well, Hine is doing the same with Nunez, and also Jim City is doing the same sometimes on Jones also. So they're obviously being brave in the way that they're defending, because if you get that wrong, if one player doesn't quite do it right and then cover on the in behind, you're in big trouble.
Here come Liverpool down the left-hand side. The ball played to Tsimikas. The Greek is not going to reach that. It's a little bit too heavy, and it's going to go out for a throw in the right full-back position. AC Milan 0, Roma 1, Benfica 1, Marseille 0. Remember, the winners of Benfica Marseille will play the winners of Liverpool and Atalanta in the next round of the competition. Leverkusen 0, West Ham 0, and Aston Villa lead by goals 0 in the Conference League tonight. Ball out of play on this near side. Davide Zappacosta sends it infield. Ederson's clearance is inadequate. It's a bit bobbly, doesn't catch it right. It goes straight out of play in front of Gasperini.
Decent touch. Decent touch, that, from Gasperini.
When he controls it, gives it back, and Liverpool have the throw. And Keller, just one of the D. A long, raking ball forward, looking to try and release Gakpo. It's headed away by Hine, and it will be collected by the goalkeeper on the near side of the penalty area. Liverpool 0, Atalanta 0. Atalanta have had a couple of really good opportunities, and Liverpool have had an absolute belting one with Darwin Nunez, which he didn't take. But yet, we are to see the net rippling, and that is a bit of a surprise at Anfield, because usually by now we've had 1 or 2 goals. Here is Van Dijk, laying out of defence up to the left, and Tsimikas, then Jones, who elevates the ball with beauty out towards the far side, and Elliott just watched that over his shoulder but couldn't take it down. It skimmed off the greasy surface and goes out for a throw-in over on the far side. And remember, the weekend is going to be busy. We've got Championship action for you and Premier League action as we get to the business end of the season.
I've been impressed with Atalanta. Their approach so far, being very proactive without the ball. They're not just sitting there in a deep structure. They're looking to push higher up the pitch, try and stop that ball at source, stop Van Dijk dictating from the back, which he's so good at.
They're a vibrant attacking team, and they've been praised for that throughout the course of the season. It's not a game that you would expect to finish 0-0. They've got good players who are well thought of.
Are you surprised the manager hasn't been mentioned more so in certain jobs that have been available?
Do you know what?
Because of the way they play, they are very
consistent with Atalanta over the course of the last decade or so, that he's been so long-serving there that I think it'd have to be one hell of a job to tempt him away. And he's at an age where I think he's reveling with the control that he gets and the influence he has in Bergamo. But yeah, I mean, look, he's designed a very good team. They play very well. They're a progressive football team. And it's always entertainment. Here is Nunez, who likes to bring a bit of entertainment. He runs towards the edge of the box. He's brought down by Hine, and Hine, I'm afraid, was always expected to get a yellow card at some point. He was walking a tightrope, and now he's just gone over that. And it's going to be a free kick on the left edge of the area.
Well, I thought for a second Hine was just going to allow Darwin Nunez to get the other side, because he'd done well. He just stood him up, and then rather than trying to play it through him on the floor, he just chipped the ball with his left foot, Nunez, and it got away from the defender, and just at the last second then, he just dangled out his thigh to crash into Nunez, and it's a dangerous position this for Liverpool. Tsimikas and McAllister will be looking towards goal, I would expect to.
8 years Gasparini has been in charge of this Atalanta team. He said yesterday it was always a thrill to come to Anfield. They wanted to use the frustration of the weekend's defeat to get the better of Liverpool. And they've got defending to do here. Tsimikas' free kick towards the far post, then towards Van Dijk. He's headed away, comes back out on the right edge of the area for Elliott, who tries to curl in towards the far corner, hits the crossbar, comes down on the line. The referee looks at his watch to see if the goal decision system goes off. It doesn't, and it's cleared away by Atalanta's defence out towards the far side. A raking right-footed curler to hit the top of the crossbar. Then I think hit the inside of the post, came down on the line and was eventually cleared away.
Oh, it doesn't get much more unlucky than this, does it? It's just so good from Harvey Elliott. Just as he sees the gap, just curls it with his left foot over the top of the goalkeeper, dipping towards that far top corner, kisses the bar, double kisses the post, and out it comes. I mean, if that ends up in the back of the net, it just looks so gorgeous hitting the crossbar and the post, but how agonising.
Still 0-0, just about. Not entirely sure how it's 0-0, but it is 0-0. And Liverpool have had now 2 very good chances to go with the ones that Atalanta have fashioned as well. Kelleher comes out, stands in between the 2 Atalanta strikers and sprays the ball to the left where Jones is waiting. He's under pressure from Zappacosta. The ball is back to Kelleher once again. He gives it to Jones, who deep lying, brings it to the attention of Elliott, who then turns it back to Endo, gives it to McAllister, gets it back to Elliott, who spreads the play to the left, and Gakpo comes in off the touchline, runs into traffic. Derone stops him in his tracks, goes back out to Elliott, who's got it on the left angle of the penalty area now. Nunez is far side, there's no one in the centre at this moment in time, and then Tsimikas just miscontrols the ball and it runs out of play on this near side and away for a throw-in to Atalanta, the away side, who are well supported, it must be said. There's a good, 2,500 of them here tonight, maybe a little bit more than that, who have made a very long journey from just west of Milan to the northwest of Liverpool tonight. There's actually a few of them on my train yesterday, coming back from London up to the northwest.
They were making a terrific noise outside, I have to say, before the game. I think they're like Gasparini. Just want to be here at Anfield and soak up the atmosphere themselves, but I think they'll be pleased with the way their team has acquitted themselves, albeit Liverpool will probably feel like they should be ahead, especially with Nunez's chance.
Well,
That's the one.
There's always a turnover of players at Atalanta because that's the business model, but it is their 5th European quarter-final, their 3rd in 5 seasons. They're experienced at this level. Here is Nunez down the right-hand side, taking on high, getting to the byline, producing a cross into the box. It goes past everybody inside the 6-yard area, comes back out to Jones, who tries to curl it into the far corner, gets underneath it and bends it over the top of the crossbar, and it's out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. Another good Liverpool attack, this time down that right side. Nunez galloping, getting to the byline, chipping the cross actually beyond everybody who was inside the area, and then it had to be rescued by Jones, who almost rescued it in some fashion.
Intelligent run though, wasn't it, from Nunez? He recognised that Derone had gone into midfield with Elliott, so he just spun high into that right-hand side channel. It was totally free, and I don't think he really looked. He just clipped that in towards the area, hoping there was someone at the far post, and there wasn't.
Jones just made a brilliant run down through the middle of the pitch, looking to try and exploit the gap that had emerged in front of him. Tsimikas couldn't pick him out, went wide to the right instead, and the ball ended up going over Elliott's head and out for a throw-in to Atalanta over on the far side. Liverpool 0, Atalanta 0. Liverpool 2nd in the Premier League, Atalanta 6th in Serie A. And it's still 0-0 between West Ham and Bayer Leverkusen. And Jim Proudfoot and Ray Houghton giving you the commentary of that on talkSPORT 2 this evening. Well, we're switching between the 2 stations. If you've got the talkSPORT app, that's pretty easy. You just flick left and right, and you can hear the commentaries throughout the course of the evening here. And remember, tomorrow night, Leicester in action live on talkSPORT 2. Saturday, we've got live Premier League action at 12:30 and at 3 o'clock. And then the Sunday session will give you updates from all the games that are taking place on Sunday afternoon on talkSPORT. Canate stretching to keep the ball in far side. Doesn't manage to find Darwin Nunez, and it trickles outside the perimeter of the playing surface and out for a throw-in away to our left-hand side. Half an hour gone. How would you sum it up?
I thought Atalanta started well and really should have gone ahead with the couple of opportunities they had. Since then, I think Liverpool have been in control and they've looked far more dangerous, and they're actually starting to recognise where that space is. When one of the centre-backs is drawn out of their position, they're utilising that space then to get players in behind and causing problems.
Serkas has just been warned off by the referee because he's gone wiring into a challenge on Jim City. No yellow card is forthcoming, and it's just going to be a free kick short of the halfway line. Liverpool, who've scored more goals than anybody else in the top 5 European leagues, have also had the ability to bounce back when falling behind. But well, I think they know, and certainly their strikers know, that they have to be more clinical than they were against Manchester United at Old Trafford. In fact, in the programme tonight, that is mentioned by Jurgen Klopp. But he also says, you've got to remember, we did well to create those chances. Here's Gakpo trying to create another one. Overhits his pass, though, which he picked up on the halfway line, turned and spun, looking for the runner, Elliott, from the right-hand side of midfield. But he just was too heavy with his delivery, and it evaded the England under-21 man and goes away for a goal kick away to our left.
Yeah, it wasn't a difficult pass either. He'd done the right thing with just letting it run across his body, and then saw the run from Elliott. He was wide open on the right-hand side, didn't need to smash it across to him, just needed to feed that in. And it was overhit. It's poor from Gakpo.
Endo, who's travelled back towards his own goal, will turn and fire the ball upfield from inside the right channel. He'll clear it away, and then it will come back via the Atalanta midfield. Pasalic leading that, and then looking for Miners, who doesn't quite reach it. Liverpool clear it, goes all the way through to the goalkeeper at the other end, and Musso kicks clear. Canate with a header, Hine with a header. The ball just seesawing between the two back lines at this moment in time, and then Edison just dawdles on it, got rushed by Gakpo, but got his way out of a tight situation, played it to Pasalic, and then it was played wide to Jim City, who now emerges down the right-hand side. He's got Zappacosta midway inside Liverpool territory. Then Edison just dawdled on the ball again and invited a challenge from Jones, who takes a quick throw in on the near side, releases Gakpo. He's got to get the ball out to Elliott on the far side. He's declined to do that twice, and the advantage is gone. But Gomez is now aiming it towards Nunez inside the area. It's well dealt with by Hine, and then it's cleared away to the halfway line. That was a missed opportunity. Might not be one for Ruggieri over on the far side. The Italian now feeding the ball into the Belgian De Ketelaere. The youngster tries to twist and turn away from Van Dijk. Van Dijk manages to show his strength and just shield the ball and shield De Ketelaere from finding a teammate. Goes out for a throw-in down by the corner flag away to our far side. 0-0. What a chance that was to get in Elliott, and Gakpo declined it.
Isn't it interesting, though? Just a little insight into the mind of a player, having just moments before overplayed it and heard the groans and the Anfield crowd. All of a sudden, pretty much exactly the same opportunity arises, and he declines to take it. I think that just shows Gakpo's not quite there yet, is he, as a player, and in terms of his stature here at this football club.
Liverpool warming up some substitutes away to our right-hand side. Szoboszlai, Jota and Luis Diaz are going through their paces. It's not a bad selection of replacements, is it, should they require them? 0-0 the score. They've had some good chances so far, not taken them. Atalanta have had one or two great opportunities as well, but it's goalless at this moment in time. Van Dijk stabbing the ball to his right. Canate, good ball into Nunez. Nunez round the corner. Could have played that to McAllister. Decided to go wide to Elliott instead. Then picks it up again, the Uruguayan. Nudges it to the right. Looks for the return. And the ball back to him from McAllister wasn't great. And then Gomez goes charging in on Hine. The ball gets to the edge of the area. There was an offside flag up against Nunez. It's going to be a free kick just left of that 18-yard box. And it's in possession of Atalanta once again. Atalanta are much better at home compared with the results on the road. They have lost 7 of their last 16 league games, but they have won a couple of big away games in the Europa League on the travels, including in the last round. Alexei Miranchuk was absolutely superb in the second leg against Sporting, assisting both goals. And he's on the bench tonight. And I mentioned earlier that they played in now 3 quarter-finals in the last 5 seasons. But they did lose the last 2 of those against PSG in the Champions League in 2019-20 and RB Leipzig
in the Europa League just 2 years ago. Here is Kelleher at the heart of the Liverpool defence, really. He's playing in between the centre-backs. He's allowed to take his time before dispatching the ball upfield into the path of Nunez, who's beaten in the air by Hein. Eventually is sent back down the left by Liverpool, and Gakpo's got it in between two white shirts. He does well to squeeze it to Endo, who's on halfway. Jones back to Van Dijk. Elliott comes short, receives the ball, looks up, wants to play it back out towards Endo, who then decides to go back to his goalkeeper, and Kelleher will be allowed to come out with the ball at his feet, right to the midpoint of his own half, before playing it out to McAllister. McAllister to Canate, then back to McAllister again. It's a good defensive shape by Atalanta, who are stopping Liverpool from moving the ball through them at speed. The best Liverpool chances have come when they've turned the ball over quickly inside their own half and counter-attack at a rapid pace. But all the while that Atalanta are in their desired shape, Liverpool found it hard to break them down, Dean.
Well, because of the two forward players just going against Canate and Van Dijk, it means they leave Kelleher to have the ball, but it means if he wants to play out, he's having to play that more risky pass into midfield, which needs a bit of work from the midfield players just to interchange positions to free themselves up.
Well, that's a good flick by Zappacosta down the right to Koopmeiners, and he almost got hold of it. He actually miscontrolled it, and then the offside flag went up against him. I thought that was a bit generous, actually, to be honest. But it was an exposing of the vulnerabilities that Liverpool do have. Here is Nunez down this left-hand side, tight to the touchline. Again, he was squeezed by Koopmeiners and Zappacosta, and then Gomez was robbed of the ball by Scamacca. McAllister goes across. Scamacca wins it back. There's a foul there by McAllister, and it's going to be a free kick short of the centre circle. There's a little bit of frustration, I think, in the air. This is not a usual situation that Liverpool are finding themselves in, where they haven't been able to take one of their chances early in the game. 38 minutes gone.
No, but I've just seen it so many times with Liverpool. They can be like this, and then all of a sudden in a 5-minute spell, the game can be over.
Zappacosta down the right-hand side, bit of space to manoeuvre into. Plays it to the edge of the area. It's into the net from Scamacca, who hits it right-footed from 10 yards out and converts the chance at last. Atalanta have had several opportunities. They finally scored one of them, and Scamacca has come back to haunt Liverpool. At West Ham, he couldn't flourish, but with Atalanta, he certainly is. And the Italian side are ahead at Anfield. It's Liverpool 0, Atalanta 1, and it's Gianluca Scamacca who scores.
Well, that's the Achilles heel, isn't it? That gap down the sides of Liverpool. Tsimikas totally commits himself. It leaves space for Zappacosta. He just picks out Scamacca. He could have picked out 2 or 3, actually. And this is terrible, terrible goalkeeping, I'm afraid, from Kelleher. He's barely put a foot wrong, really, since coming in for Alisson, but this is a horrible, horrible mistake. Scamacca doesn't hit it very well, actually. Comes off his studs rather than the side of his foot. It bobbles towards Kelleher, and it just goes right underneath his body. It's poor goalkeeping, and it's a big bonus for Atalanta.
Well, Zappacosta had far too much room down this right-hand side. He picked out Scamacca, and Scamacca got his 12th goal. Now, it may well be that Kelleher should have done better, but defensively, that was poor from Liverpool in the first place.
But that's where I think teams do look at getting joy against Liverpool, is when one of the fullbacks is out of position or commits himself, as Tsimikas did there, and was totally out of the game. That is then when you can try and flood the Liverpool defensive area. And that's exactly what Atalanta have done.
It happens far too often, though, to Liverpool, doesn't it? You know, this is now 1 clean sheet in their last 13 Anfield games. They've had to come from behind so often this season. Yes, they have done it. They've won 27 points from losing positions this season. But at some stage, that is going to bite you in the backside, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially against the absolute best. You know, you'd still have full confidence in Liverpool.
Kelleher's made a little mistake, and he's just invited a bit of pressure from Koopmeiners. It was played back to him, and he sort of hit him on the knees, and his first touch wasn't great, but his second one was better. And Canate now brings the ball out through the middle of the pitch, and Gomez now joins the attack. They're down the right side, playing the ball onto Harvey Elliott, who cuts in left-footed, swirls across towards the back post. It's too heavy and goes behind, and it's out for a goal kick away to our left, and the Atalanta fans are going crazy behind the goal.
But what that does actually, Keller, taking that risk, then when he is able to play it out, they then get through that half press from Atalanta, and all of a sudden Liverpool look a threat.
It's risk and reward stuff, isn't it? And the rewards are high if you do get through that press, because so many times already tonight Liverpool slalom their way through that Atalanta defence at relative ease, really. The issue they've had is that, again, when they've got to the edge of the box, they haven't really made the right decision, or they've had a chance and not converted it. It remains 1-0 to Atalanta. The goal coming after 38 minutes. Gianluca Scamacca's 12th goal of the season. Only managed 8 and 27 for West Ham. Did score against England in October, and I remember Jim Proudfoot was commentating on that game against Italy, and he said, where was this Scamacca during the West Ham spell? And certainly he has become a little bit more of a goal magnet since returning to his homeland.
Yeah, I think David Moyes might have had a little bit to do with that and the way that they play, and living up to Antonio's reputation of work takes some doing. He embarrasses a lot of strikers, Antonio, with the work he gets through.
Well, touch from McAllister from deep inside his own half to release the ball to the right-hand side, and then Jones has asked a little bit too much by Harvey Elliott's ball, which was played inside the defender Hine, and Jones went cavaliering into the right channel but couldn't win it. Elliott's won it back from Scamacca, and now it's with Gomez on halfway. Endo turns it back to Canate. Liverpool behind here at Anfield, as there have been so often this season, but you always feel there's a comeback in them. Gattuso's just played the ball awry from inside his own half, and it hasn't been settled, and I think they do feel a little bit ruffled by that goal.
Yeah, absolutely, it does set you back, of course it does. I think also then all of a sudden Tsimikas and Gomez just tuck in for a couple of minutes after that mistake. And again, you know, the odd stray pass doesn't help things within the stadium. It gets on the supporters' nerves when simple passes are just played out of play.
Scamacca is big and strong and brutish, has just given away a free kick as he went to attack. It's a short pass by Endo. It's been pinched by Ruggieri, and he's now scampering away down the left side for Atalanta towards the byline. Produces a cross, blocked by McAllister. It's out for a corner in front of the Kop. And again, another misplaced pass just unsettled that Liverpool back line, and immediately Atalanta pounced.
Caught right in the middle, wasn't he, Gomez, and whether to go and try and intercept or whether just to get back into position. He did neither. Got caught out. Luckily, it wasn't Roberto Carlos on that side, and Ruggieri didn't quite have that turn of pace, did he? It was easily dealt with in the end.
He's not Roberto Carlos, but he does love getting up and down and producing crosses into the box. He's one of the best crossers of the ball in Serie A. Here is the corner in towards the near post. It's away by McAllister, headed out towards the halfway line, and then sent back by Darun all the way through to Ederson. Back out to the right-hand side for Kettler, trying to take it out of the air, couldn't control it, rolls off the top of his boots and goes out for a throw-in on this near side. 1-0 to the away side, Atalanta against Liverpool in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. It's the first leg tonight, the second leg next Thursday, and an integral game for Jurgen Klopp and his team as they look to try to win 3 trophies this season. The League Cup already in the bag, the Premier League certainly still up for being contested, and this trophy as well, which we are big favourites for, it must be said. Here is Tsimikas sliding the ball again. He gives it straight to Pasalic in the middle of the park, and Ederson now clips the ball forward. It's a poor ball by him. It's over the top of Koopmeiners' head and through to the goalkeeper. Now they're encouraged to get forward, Liverpool, at pace as we go into the final minute of the first half, live on talkSPORT. Again, they give the ball away cheaply, and Scamacca has managed to squeeze it through to Koopmeiners, who's down the left side of the box, gets into the area, pulls it back to the Kettler, inside the area, tries to do a little back heel into the path of Pasalic. It didn't quite work out. It took a deflection, it was gobbled up by Kelleher, but the threat is there from Atalanta.
Oh, that was so close from De Ketelaere. Brilliant little bit of improvisation that nearly went through Endo's legs. If it had, it would have been perfect for the strike. It just deflected off Endo's shin and luckily went to safety. But once again, Scamacca just out-muscles Elliott and then gets Koopmeiners away. And you're right, there is that genuine threat when they do win the ball back because of that extra forward player that Gasperini has played tonight.
Liverpool's players want to give Jurgen Klopp the ultimate send-off. It's something that Harvey Elliott addressed yesterday in the press conference. A trophy to sweeten the path. The Europa League win in Dublin would do the trick. That is for sure. There is a long way to go between now and then. And they are behind. De Roon has won it back from Gomez on halfway. And Pasalic is forward again. And look at the space for Koopmeiners on the edge of the area. He's gone past the goalkeeper, who actually has got back and put his body on the line and thundered it away with his chest at the vital moment. It's a big save from Kelleher, a vital save on the stroke of half-time.
And you just wonder how big a moment that could actually be for Atalanta over the course of these two legs, because he's got so much time, Koopmeiners, to size this up, and he just allows Kelleher to come out, who gets out really quickly and gets out low. I think if that's on the left foot of Koopmeiners, I think he probably just takes this out of his feet and finishes. He didn't look comfortable on that right foot, and it's a let-off.
What a chance on the stroke of half-time. Liverpool unbeaten in 90 minutes in the last 13 matches in all competitions. They haven't lost here for over a year, but that record under threat thanks to the goal scored by Scamacca after 38 minutes. But Atalanta will be pretty cute. They'll know as well as anyone else that they may not escape Anfield, like many don't escape Anfield with victory. The Reds' powers of recovery are famous. They need them tonight. Big second half to come live on talkSPORT. It's Liverpool 0, Atalanta 1 at half-time.
So Atalanta winners at Anfield behind closed doors in 2021. They have shown no fear here tonight, playing in a third European quarter-final in 5 years, and they have the lead, much to the delight of the travelling Ledea supporters. However, up against one of the undoubted greats of European football, will Liverpool respond and show their class in the second half? It's going to be an important 45 minutes with you very, very shortly. Let's discuss that first period in the company of Dean Ashton, the former England striker. And I just have to compliment the tactical approach here from Gasperini, because at times we see a back three, at times we see a back four, at times a flat back five. Not only has he shored them up defensively, albeit there have been chances for Liverpool, you'd expect that. But there haven't been a raft of chances we've seen in some of their performances so far this season. But what he's also done is provide a threat at the other end, and it's only one. We're saying it's only one because it could easily have been three, given the quality of the chances they've had here tonight. What have you made of the leaders so far?
Yeah, look, I think you're right. I think the way he set his team up has been brave, because he's saying to his three centre-backs, every single one of you at times has to step out of your position and go and follow one of the forward players as they go deep to collect the ball. Now, they are the best team in Serie A at interceptions, and what they've done, because of that strength that they have, is they've looked at this Liverpool side and realised if they can intercept, that there's space. There's always space down the sides of the two Liverpool centre-backs because of the way that Liverpool play, and the two full-backs get forward and are allowed to. It leaves that space then in that area. So what they have done, and because he's played an extra forward player, they've then got the quality when they win it back to just pierce through that Liverpool defence. It's a great, great opportunity for Koopmeiners at the end. He has, you know, in these sort of games, against this sort of opposition, you have to score. You have to score those opportunities. You know, I think you need 2-3 goal leads against a team like Liverpool, and that's just such a glorious chance.
I tend to agree with you. He dallied. He dithered over it for so long that Kelleher actually made the save right on the edge of the penalty area. He was able to come out so far, and really it should have been a one-touch and hit most probably. But yeah, you're right. On his right foot, he never looked comfortable at all. I've got to say, it's one of several very, very good chances in the game. Huge chance after just 3 minutes for Pasalic. Kelleher saving with his face. He redeemed himself just before half-time, and right at the start of the game, it was a very important save as well. Didn't know much about it, but really Atalanta will be kicking themselves there as well.
Yeah, again, you know, it's another one of 4 great chances for Atalanta. I mean, he does, and the keepers work so hard on this. I've watched them, and you've got to be so brave to take that straight in the mush from 3 yards. The power that we hit it with as players, honestly, it's superb goalkeeping from Kelleher. But it's a massive mistake for the goal. It's a terrible mistake for the goal, because Scamacca doesn't connect very well at all. He doesn't get much power on the strike. It comes off his studs, it bobbles towards the goalkeeper, it goes right underneath his body, dives basically over the ball. So he'll be really, really disappointed that he's allowed that one to get past him. But Jurgen Klopp will be worried that the threat that Atalanta posed, but at the same time, they've created their own chances and should have scored.
But that's because of the space that the fullbacks of Liverpool are leaving in behind, because that's where Scamacca's goal came from, a 12th of the season, 5 in his last 7 games, because he was picked out by Zappacosta, who went down the right. He also picked out to Ketelea a little bit earlier on in the game when he did a back heel, 5 yards out, virtually middle of the goal, and it looked like he just wasn't aware. Virgil van Dijk, I think, had almost scared him off having a shot, but Van Dijk had dropped deep onto the line. He hadn't noticed, and actually, if he swiveled on his right foot, it was a brilliant chance.
It was. Look, it was a magnificent layup. I've got the flick to lay it off to Koopmeiners was outstanding, but it was the wrong decision. Like you said, he didn't have the awareness to know that the defender had dropped, and he could have just swiveled and taken the shot. I think him, Koopmeiners in particular, I think have been excellent when they've won the ball back, and they've just shown that bravery that not many teams do here at Anfield. I think it's been refreshing to watch. But at the same time, I think Jurgen Klopp will realise that there's chances to be had against this Atalanta team, and with who he's got on the bench, he'll I think still be very calm.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I'm sure the Liverpool fans screaming at the radio, what about us? Because there were some excellent chances. Probably the best one, although Alexis McAllister side-footed over the bar on just 5 minutes, was a very good opportunity. I think an even better one went to Darwin Núñez, played in by Curtis Jones, and he just went for that scooped lob finish that worked so well when he was set away against Brentford a few games back, and he finished beautifully. This time, didn't catch it at all.
No, again, when they come off, they look juicy. You know, they're just so good, aren't they? But, you know, when you're looking at percentages of what is more likely to go in, well, going round the goalkeeper, we don't see it enough anymore. Going round goalkeepers from forwards. Núñez is rapid.
Yeah.
He's going to have the pace to get past the goalkeeper and just took it into an empty net. Or, as Henry used to do so well, is just that last second, just opening the body out and flicking it around the opposite side of the goalkeeper. Núñez went for the extravagant, and when it doesn't come off, then you're likely to take a bit of flack for it.
I was going to say, look, during that first half, there was a big round of applause when 5 players went out to warm up, and Sam outlined just what quality Liverpool have on the bench. Salah, Robertson, Jota, Diaz and Zoboslai were down there getting the applause of their fans. Already we're seeing out here on the pitch at Anfield, with tracksuit bottoms now taken off, warm-up going on. Andrew Robertson is there, Dominic Zoboslai is there, and Mo Salah look like they could be introduced at the break. So that would give Liverpool another gear, you'd have to say.
Just a bit, yeah, just a bit. I think as well, also, I think you can't underestimate what the fullbacks could possibly do. You know, Bradley, Robertson, Trent Alexander-Arnold are available as well. You know, Gomez isn't going to get forward the same way. Tsimikas has been in between, really, of getting forwards and defending. I think what Liverpool do so well usually is those fullbacks push the opposition so far back that it makes it difficult to then counter-attack sometimes against a Liverpool side. I'd expect changes pretty quickly if it doesn't change soon in that second half.
Okay, well, Dean, thank you very much. Liverpool behind at the break. It is Liverpool 0, Atalanta 1, thanks to Gianluca Scamacca's opening goal for the Travellers. Here in the Europa League tonight, over on talkSPORT 2, another English side in action. West Ham away at Bayer Leverkusen, who could win the Bundesliga title with victory at the weekend. Goalless in that game on talkSPORT 2. Roma lead AC Milan. The winner will face West Ham or Leverkusen. Benfica 1, Marseille 0 at the break, and the winner will face Liverpool or Atalanta. Let's get the latest from the Europa Conference League, where Aston Villa are in action. talkSPORT's Abigail Davis.
Yeah, half-time, it's Aston Villa 1, Lille 0. Villa came into this one having won all 5 of their previous home matches in the Europa Conference League this season with an aggregate score of 12-2. It was the away side, though, who settled the quicker in this one, stringing some lovely passing moves together. Villa content for them to do so predominantly in their own half. But in quick succession against the run of play, Villa's star man had a few decent chances. The first from an outswinging corner from the left-hand side, finding its way to Conser at the back post, who teed up the English striker Ollie Watkins. His effort was comfortably collected, but then from another corner, Ollie Watkins made no mistake, a header into the back of the net to give the home side the lead. At the other end of the pitch, Emi Martinez has been absolutely remarkable, pulled off some spectacular saves to deny a Lille side getting in behind with relative ease, as Diakite and David were denied. Half-time though, it's Villa who lead here by a goal to nil.
Also at the break tonight in the Conference League, it's Club Brugge 1, PAOK Salonika 0, and it finished earlier on Olympiacos 3, Fenerbahce 2, and Victoria Pilsen 0, Fiorentina 0. Okay, let's get the half-time odds on talkSPORT, all thanks to the Ladbrokes.
Odds update on talkSPORT with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus BGambleAware.org.
This one looks a difficult one to call. Liverpool to win is 8-5. The draw is 11-5. And Atalanta to win is also 8-5. Those are the half-time odds with Ladbrokes. It's 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Odds update on talkSPORT with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus BeGambleAware.org.
So, a familiar story for those that follow the Reds. They have conceded the first goal on the evening. Live on talkSPORT, the Europa League quarter-final first leg. It is Liverpool 0, Atalanta 1.
Kick-off on talkSPORT with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus BeGambleAware.org.
To a bar holding a cobblestone, he says to the bartender, "One for me and one for the road." Jokes aside, if you're planning a block paving project this summer, then you need to get down to Juicer. From single blocks to project packs, traditional CPP or contemporary granite effect, there's something to suit every project, budget and taste. Plus, we've got all the accessories and tools you need to get the job done right. Want more stock, more value and inspiration? Search Juicer Landscaping. Juicer, everything landscaping, all in one place. Terms and conditions apply.
The manager is subbing on the big man. And another change now. Rodgers comes on, the veteran right back. And now the third choice goalie enters the field. They can barely contain themselves here. The new super sub from Paddy Power. All subs are now super. Because if a player in your bet is subbed off, it carries over to the new player coming on. Paddy Power. Football, you gotta love it.
Valid on selected leagues and markets only. Pre-match and in-play bets on qualifying player outcome selections only. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus BeGambleAware.org.
The Masters. Teeing off on now.
Now he's absolutely launched that.
Oh, now. Woods is in the woods. Now that's just magic. That's a try. Oh, now it's just pulled. That's so up. Oh, and who's this the type? Oh, it's a green jacket. There it is.
Stream The Masters and English Sky Sports without a contract. Head to nowtv.com.
Sky Sports content streamed via internet. 18 plus. Full terms apply.
Here they are, the racing lovers of the UK, phone in hand, ready to play the Coral Reward Shaker. Look at them shake. We've got the regulars of the racecourse shaking their phone with confidence. And look, they've won a free bet. Parents on a day out just happy to be here. They've done it too. An odds booster for them. Lovely stuff. Everyone's a winner. Play Coral's free reward shaker this Grand National Festival to win guaranteed daily rewards and offers. Coral, we're here for it.
18 plus UK. Max one reward or offer per player per day. Reward restrictions, requirements and T's and C's apply. Take time to think.
Join the nation in cinching it. Buy your perfect car online. And get first-class assistance from start to finish. Your new car, madam, with friendly customer service available 7 days a week.
Hello, this is Cinch. How can I help you?
An expert walkthrough of your new car when it's delivered. And a fat-free 14-day money-back guarantee. Hardly surprising Cinch is rated excellent on Trustpilot. So join the nation in absolutely cinching it. Search Cinch and buy your next car today. Returns subject to mileage restrictions, T's and C's apply.
Not everything in golf makes sense, but buying pre-owned clubs does. We're GolfBid, an official partner of the PGA that helped millions of golfers over the last 25 years find quality and affordable clubs to improve their game. So while you may not always trust your swing, you can trust our clubs. Golf is difficult. Buying great value pre-owned clubs isn't. This week, save even more with 15% off thousands of drivers at golfbidder.co.uk, the home of pre-owned clubs.
At Virgin Bet, we love weekends. And it's a good bet you'll love Virgin Bet's wonderful weekend football offer. New and existing customers get a free £5 bet when they put £10 on the football this weekend and every weekend of the season. You'll be loving your weekends even more now. Virgin Bet, a good bet. Singles and bet builders only. Excludes virtuals, boosters and specials. Minimum odds 1 to 2. Accept in 24 hours. Used in 7 days. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. Bet responsibly. BeGambleAware.org.
Europa League live on talkSPORT with Village Hotels. With 33 locations across the UK, Village Hotels have everything under one roof for a great breakaway.
It's the reason Marconi invented radio, and God gave you ears. He scores a brilliant goal! Europa League live on talkSPORT.
Plays it to the edge of the area. It's into the net from Skamaka, who hits it right-footed from 10 yards out and converts a chance at last. Atalanta have had several opportunities. They finally scored one of them, and Skamaka has come back to haunt Liverpool. At West Ham, he couldn't flourish, but with Atalanta, he certainly is. And the Italian side are ahead at Anfield. It's Liverpool 0, Atalanta 1, and it's Gianluca Scamacca who scored.
You're listening to Kick-Off live on talkSPORT with Ladbrokes. We play together. Terms and conditions apply. It's 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org. Let's very quickly get an update from the Masters at Augusta, which teed off earlier today with Arnold Clark.
The Masters Update on talkSPORT with Arnold Clark. Sell your car with no admin fees, any local or...
Gary Partington has the latest.
Yeah, thank you. Well, it's the American Bryson DeChambeau who leads the way at the top on 7 under. 3 straight birdies to open up his round, and to top it off, 2 straight birdies through the famous Amen Corner. Well, what a start to the championship he's having. Just another round of golf, right? Well, there's a 3-way tie in second as it stands. Ben Arn joined by the Kiwi Ryan Fox, who also opened up with a birdie on 1, 2 and 3 in his second Masters appearance. Also 3 shots back is the 2016 Masters champion Danny Willett, who finished the day on a 4 under 68. Well, the favourite and world number 1 Scotty Scheffler's creeping up the leaderboard as expected on 2 under and fancies his chances of whacking on another green jacket one more time. Well, playing in the same group as world number 2 Rory McIlroy, who's had a bit of a rollercoaster start but settled in and managed to birdie before the turn, and it's all level. But all attention turns to the GOAT, the 5 times Master champion Tiger Woods, who's finally underway. Teed off just this minute, launched his drive for hundreds of patrons with binoculars in hand to hopefully witness more greatness. Well, plenty more to come, but as it stands, Bryson DeChambeau leading the charge on 7 under.
Gabby, thank you. We're back underway at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Atalanta 1 in the first leg of the Europa League quarter-finals. The second 45 minutes with former England striker Dean Ashton and talkSPORT Sam Matterface.
Liverpool weren't very good in the first half, but they trail by goal to 0, and Jurgen Klopp has called for the emergency special teams. Szoboszlai, Salah and Robertson all on with Tsimikas, Jones and Elliott at the start of the second half, and Szoboszlai's already made an impact. Dean Ashton.
He has, driving down the right-hand side. Salah came short, Szoboszlai went in behind, tried to put it back for Nunez, and good goalkeeping from Rousseau. But it's actually no surprise, that's what you should do as a manager if you're not happy with that first half, which...
Here comes Scott Miners inside the area looking for Pasalic. He's tucked away by McAllister just in case, and then Gomez leaves it for Canate, who hesitated and then eventually cleared up towards the halfway line. I'll run through the 2-11s for you in just a second, because they're much altered, obviously, Liverpool, as a result of that. But I wanted to ask you whether or not, so often this campaign, the reserves, the younger players have managed to get by for Liverpool. They've done the job when called upon, but tonight it didn't look right, didn't feel right in that first 45 minutes. The 6 changes that Jurgen Klopp made, did he take Atalanta a little bit lightly? Did he have too much faith in those who he started the game with?
Well, I think the fact that he's made a change at half-time, I think says that he did get it wrong. You know, I think that's him ultimately admitting that maybe he got it wrong and the players that he picked hadn't done the job properly in that first half. And they, I don't think they would have taken Atalanta lightly, but I think they've been quite surprised, I would expect, at just the bravery and the manner in which Atalanta have played, and the seriousness of making sure that they still come away from Anfield with a positive result.
So it's 1-0 to Atalanta live on talkSPORT tonight. Kelleher is the Liverpool goalkeeper. Now Gomez, Canate, Van Dijk and Robertson the back four. Endo, McAllister and Szoboszlai in midfield, with Salah, Nunez and Gakpo as the three-pronged attack. They're attacking the Kop away to our right-hand side, and Nunez has just put on the accelerator and tried to get
to a loose ball which had run towards the edge of the 18-yard box, and it was cleared away. Now Szoboszlai's got it after it was half cleared. He shoots from distance, takes a deflection, the ball goes behind, it's away for a corner, and there's the Anfield roar.
I think by making those changes, it's what elite managers do. They don't care about how players feel. They do the thing that's right. It's giving the crowd, and then seeing those players come out. And you would expect a big second half here from Liverpool.
Corner near side to be taken by the Hungarian Szoboszlai. He places the ball down edge of the quadrant. He's got 5 to aim at inside the penalty area. It's a deep one, probably too deep. It goes right the way through the box on the other side, and Robertson gets the chance to recycle it. His ball is heavy as well. Goes right through the penalty area, back to Szoboszlai on the other side, and we start again. Szoboszlai's third ball into the box is headed away by the retreating Ederson, and then it's clicked up by Gomez towards McAllister, who sees it back to his goalkeeper Kelleher away to our left. The Atalanta team is Musso, and the back three of Pine, Jim Ceci and Derone. Pine has gone into the books. Zappacosta is the right wing back, Ruggieri the left wing back, Pasalic and Ederson in the centre, with Koopmeiners and De Ketelaere behind Scamacca in attack. Scamacca, who scored the only goal of the game so far after 38 minutes from the Zappacosta cross down the right-hand side, getting in behind Tsimikas. Possibly the only reason why Tsimikas was taken off at half-time, but certainly that would have played into Jurgen Klopp's thinking. And they've got a deficit to make up once again at Anfield, as they've done so many times. Their second half performances has far outweighed their first across the season. Late goals from 76 minutes on would have been unbelievable in terms of ratio. Over a third of the goals they've scored in matches in all competitions have come after the 76-minute mark.
Yeah, because they've got such strength with the squad that they're able to bring players on that will make a difference when the opposition start to tire, both physically and mentally. I mean, it must be difficult, I have to admit, for these managers to try and shuffle things around, especially with Jurgen Klopp. He's got players coming back from injury. Salah not long ago had a hamstring injury.
Nunez down by the byline trying to get the cross in. He might have just kept that in, and then Szoboszlai backing him up can't fire it into the box because there's a block from Derone. Eventually it's cleared up to the halfway line. Canate shrugs away Scamacca, gets a big cheer from the crowd as a result of that. And 6 minutes into the second half, Liverpool have the ball once again. They've had a lot of the ball tonight. 67% possession to 33 from Atalanta. They've had only 6 attempts on goal, only one of them on target. Here's Robertson down the left-hand side trying to influence proceedings in that regard. It goes out for a corner after a slide tackle from Ederson. Stops him from getting the cross in, and it goes out of play over on the far side. 1-0 to Atalanta.
And what I mentioned at half-time with a full-back coming on, such as Robertson, he's got so much quality and energy to get forwards. He automatically pins the opposition full-back in to stop that threat in behind him.
Here is the corner then, whipped in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, and the header by Van Dijk is narrowly over the top of the crossbar. He got up beautifully and met it with the meat of his forehead, and it just went an inch or so over the top of the bar. Both him and Nunez were going towards the ball, and it was Van Dijk who got up there, but maybe he just got a little bit over the ball there, and it flicked off his head and went over the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, he just collapsed with his midriff. He just didn't stay tall. He's collapsed into it and dipped down, and it just meant then it came off the top of his head rather than the meat of the forehead. So used to just seeing him come onto those and power into the net. Just collapsed slightly with his core stability.
I'll have to start working on that again. I'm sure he's really struggling for that. His rippling washboard stomach. 33 minutes gone, you're listening to talkSPORT. I did say that as if I was really jealous, didn't I? It's probably because I am. Ball is out of play on the far side, thrown in delicately towards the edge of the area, and was there a handball there by Endo? I think there might have been, right on the edge of the box, and VAR will check this to see exactly where the geography was. The ball was thrown in from the right-hand side. Endo's arm came out. Certainly, it hit him. Was he inside the area or out of it? Just outside. Just outside. Good call from the ref.
Again, look, Endo knows nothing about it in terms of trying to actually throw his arm across to whack it away. I think he gets his arm across to try and just shield himself from the player, and unintentionally then strikes his arm.
We are just checking the geography of the situation on the VAR monitors, but I do think from what I've seen so far that looks very much outside the box rather than in. But our Turkish VAR is just making sure. And the referee seems to believe that it's all done and dusted, so there will be a free kick quickly taken. Pasalic left it. There's a bit of reshaping going on, and then Koopmeiners will strike it straight into the near post and easily caught by the goalkeeper, who bowls it out immediately up to Gomez. And Liverpool turn defence into attack at rapid speed, as you would expect. That ball from Gomez, though, behind Nunez, who, as he slowed up to try and receive that ball, slipped, and the attack and the momentum just dissipated. Back with Van Dijk, who helps it on to McAllister. Liverpool come forward. There's a bit of space left side, and that's been exploited by Andy Robertson. Gakpo in a half position, about 10 yards back from the edge of the area, finds it to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai gets it back again, and then moves the ball forward into Gakpo, who drops deep, plays it back towards the edge of the centre circle. Van Dijk sweeps it wide, and Robertson has it left side. 10 minutes gone, second half, 1-0 to Atalanta. Here is Endo feeding Nunez down the left side, and Hein goes across, and then he wins it again in a tight position, comes back to Salah from Gakpo. Salah again, good save to his right by the goalkeeper Musso, who got it high towards the near post and pushed it behind and away for a corner. Chaos inside the box. Nunez did really well when the chance looked as if it had eluded him. He clawed it back, fed Gakpo, fed Salah. His shot was blocked, came back to Salah again, and then the save was pushed behind.
Terrific save in the end, because it came from behind defender Musso, parrying it wide.
Ball in towards the near post. It comes off the shoulder of Konate, and then it goes through into the goalkeeper's hands. And it's through play by Musso away to our right-hand side. I think they were just checking momentarily for a Liverpool penalty on that occasion. The check was over pretty quickly, and it was cleared away by the Atalanta goalkeeper. But another couple of flashes from Liverpool, a couple of opportunities that have, one of which had to be stopped by the big Italian goalkeeper. Offside flag up against the Kettler at the other end. It's going to be a free kick. Liverpool, who have had a habit of conceding, but it's definitely still a tough place to come, this, and I think Atalanta will be mindful of it as we go into the final 35 minutes. Here is Gakpo down the left-hand side. Hein tries to get the better of him. Gakpo does brilliantly. Here's Nunez with a chance. He steered it over the top of the crossbar again. It was pulled back to the edge of the 6-yard area after Gakpo got the better of Hein. He set up Darwin Nunez, who leant back instead of over the ball and lifted it high over the top of the bar.
Well, that's twice now. Hein has got himself into a difficult position defensively. He's on a yellow card. He can't make a challenge. It was Darwin Nunez who kept the ball in last time. This time it's Gakpo that just shunts the ball the opposite side of the defender, plays it back to Nunez, and you're absolutely right. I don't know whether he's trying to dink this over the keeper into the far post or strike it low, but ultimately, if you do lean back, it's so difficult to keep it down.
Szoboszlai rebounds the ball into the middle of the park, and Liverpool have it once again. Gakpo turns away from Ederson. It's played by McAllister to the far side. Robertson takes over. 57 minutes on the clock. Liverpool 0, Atalanta 1 on talkSPORT. Gakpo accelerating forward, gets a push in the back, keeps his feet, feeds Joe Gomez. Gomez sends it out wide towards the left. It's in towards the edge of the 6-yard box again for Nunez from Salah. He tried to flick it behind him, and he was rather clumsy with his finish, and it bounced into the air, and it's an easy grab for the goalkeeper away to our right-hand side.
Just the intensity and the speed of the passing is so much better from Liverpool, and the quality of the first touch. There isn't the passes going astray so far in this second half.
Skamaka is coming forward here. The Kettler just managed to get away from Endo momentarily, but he's been forced back by a combination of the Japanese captain and Mo Salah to the halfway line. They've got him further back now to their goalkeeper as they look to retreat here and just take a little bit of pressure off the back line, because it's been under constant waves of pressure in this second half since the introduction of those 3 substitutes. Atalanta's last visit to England saw them rout Everton across Stanley Park by 5-1 back in 2017. I was actually at that game. They are one of just 3 teams to have won at both Merseyside clubs in European competition. Did you know that? No. Do you know who the other two are? We've won at both. Ah, yes. Little quiz question for you, Dino.
Oh.
Ah, right. Okay, have a little think about that. If you want to text us 81089, just 3 teams have won at both Merseyside clubs in European competition. Who are they? Atalanta is one. Who are the other two? 81089 on the text if you want to get involved. Here is Canate, deep inside his own half, trying to turn under pressure, has to stretch, gives the ball away. De Ketelaere was in the wrong position as the ball came back. The offside flag went up anyway. A free kick has been given. And Liverpool, who wanted to get it started, have been denied the opportunity to do so. Another change, Darwin Núñez. I think Jurgen Klopp, rather ruthlessly, has seen enough. And he's going to replace him with Luis Diaz, who'll go out to the left-hand side, and Gakpo will go through the middle. Núñez gets a standing ovation, or a ripple of applause, let's say that, from the Liverpool supporters, because he certainly is very much appreciated for his effort, even if his quality has been lacking a little bit tonight.
Yeah, and supporters appreciate and recognise that. They know he's not trying to miss those chances, and they've got to stick by him. I think also it could partly be as a tactic to try and still keep players fresh.
Big games coming up for Liverpool, though. I think this week most people believe that it's a good week for the title chasers, all three of them at home. Crystal Palace away on Sunday at 2 o'clock. Here's a chance at the other end. The ball's played into the box towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Scamacca is there to finish it off, and Atalanta in behind the Liverpool defence again. Another right wing cross, another finished goal by Scamacca, and Atalanta lead by 2-0 on the hour mark at Anfield. What on earth happened? I thought he was offside initially. I think the Liverpool backline did too, but the goal's going to stand. It's 2-0 to the Italians.
Oh, you're absolutely right. They switch off. They think this is offside. And again, it comes down that right-hand side. Robertson, a bit like Simicast, sort of dives out of position. He's then fed down the right-hand side to De Ketelaere. And I think it's Canate that keeps him on. Initially, it's then is Scamacca. As he gone a little bit early, the ball was played across. And I have to say, the coolness of this finish from Scamacca on the half volley, left foot, side foot, into the back of the net. Terrific finish from the big Italian.
I have to say, he was in an offside position in an earlier part of the move. When the initial ball was played down the right-hand side, he's about a yard in front of the Liverpool backline, which is why I think everybody thought he was in an offside position when the cross came in. He wasn't, because the ball was received on the right-hand side prior to that, and De Ketelaere then swung it in. He was on an onside position. He swung the ball in, and by which time Canate had dropped, played him onside. He was there, and he finished it off beautifully. And Atalanta now have a 2-goal lead, and Liverpool have got a bit of a mountain to climb here, Dean.
Just a bit. I mean, again, you know, I've talked about the way that the manager set up Gasperini to take advantage of those situations. When they came around, he's having the quality at the top end of the pitch. De Ketelaere doing brilliantly with the cross, and Scamacca, you're right, because he was offside, he's got that 3-yard head start, which means as long as he gets himself back onside, means that he's then got the time to finish without the pressure of a defender.
Minus down that right-hand side, he's in an offside position. There's been another goal down at Villa Park. talkSPORT's Abby Davis.
Yeah, 58 minutes on the clock. It's now Aston Villa 2, Lille 0. They've created the best chances in this second half. Should have had a penalty when Ollie Watkins was barged off the ball in the area. But again, their second goal coming from a set piece. A corner taken short. Bailey actually loses his foot in as he squares the ball to McGinn on the edge of the area. His strike takes a huge deflection. Chevalier rooted to the spot as he watched the ball trickle into the bottom left corner. Villa lead 2-0, 58 gone.
Well, Atalanta lead 2-0 here at Anfield tonight. Liverpool behind and struggling to find their shooting boots again. Ball played to the edge of the area. It's collected by Gomez as Liverpool come on the attack in search of an equalising goal. A goal which has evaded them so far. They've had several big chances, 11 shots on goal, only 2 on target so far. Here is Robertson down the left side. Pulls the ball through the 18-yard box. Is helped clear by Ruggieri, and out for a throw-in on the near touchline. And Liverpool are urgent now. They've got a bit of desperation about them because they know that coming back from 2 goals down in any match is difficult. It's not beyond them, but it is incredibly difficult at this stage of the competition to give an advantage to an away team like this. It's almost deadly, isn't it? There's not many teams that come back from a 2-0 deficit from the first leg at home.
Well, especially with Atalanta being so good at home. I feel for Canate, and I feel for defenders, to be honest, because of that rule change. Because what it does is, if you ask Canate would he do anything differently, he probably wouldn't, because he was in a great position to start with. But because of the way that offside rule works, Scamacca's ahead of him, so he can't get back and defend it properly.
Oh, and here they come again. De Ketelaer's got the ball on the edge of the area, and he's fed it out towards Koopmeiners, who could finish it here. He sent it wide. What a chance. It came across his body onto his left foot, and he's dragged it through the 6-yard box, and it's 4 yards wide of the post. That was a golden chance to finish off the tie.
De Ketelaer, that is just so superb, because he faked to pass it to the opposite side, reversed it to Koopmeiners, who on his favoured left foot has the time to size it up, and he snatches at it. Instead of striking through the ball, he hits the top of the ball, which so often just bobbles it and spins it wide. It's a terrible miss.
Well, whatever happens tonight, you'll be able to follow all the fallout on Trans-Europe Express on Sunday night, 9 o'clock. Andy Brass on Danny Kelly will review all the weekend action, of course, all the Europa League and Champions League ties as well. Ball into the box from the right side from Diaz to the edge of the area in Szoboszlai. Back in towards the middle of the park. It's headed into the air by the retreating Pasalic. Gomez now on the attack. Liverpool trailing by 2 goals to 0 here, with just 25 minutes to go. Down the right towards the corner flag, the ball goes across, it's blocked by the defender, and it's out for a throw-in, midway between the edge of the 18-yard box and the byline. And it's a Liverpool throw-in, which at this moment in time, in that area of the field, needs to be capitalised upon. They need to make sure they continue to try and probe this Atalanta defence, a defence that up until now has lived a bit of a charmed life, but also the way they've structured the team has kept Liverpool at arm's length for most of it. Diaz, the human firework, drops, picks the ball up and then runs forward, sends it out towards Gomez, whose first touch just about is kept under control. Salah in a right wing position, through the legs of the defender. McAllister coming in behind Ederson, who gets in front of him, scoots it away, it's out for a throw-in. Gomez tells him to slow down, not rush it, get it out for him to take. Gomez waits for Szoboszlai to come forward and then sends it back to the Hungarian on the right side of the Liverpool midfield. 2-0 to Atalanta. Wow.
Well, also, it's not as if Jurgen Klopp hasn't made the changes to try and get back into this game. But again, still a long way to go. A lot of concentration needed for Atalanta.
Here is Szoboszlai down the right side, plays it against Pasalic, it goes out of play. I mentioned earlier it's an incredibly tough place to come. Only Manchester United, Arsenal and City have managed to avoid defeat in the previous 25 games that have been at Anfield this season. And United were very lucky and conceded a huge number of shots in that match. It's just somehow managed to come away with a 0-0 draw. Here is Robertson out towards the left side, collected now by Gakpo, gets to the edge of the area, right-footed ball into the box, is headed away, comes back to Endo, who nudges it into the path of Gomez, who slides it out wide. Szoboszlai into the path of Salah, who's in an offside position, and it goes behind, and it's going to be a free kick, offside. Away to our right, and the momentum goes out of the Liverpool attack, and maybe the momentum has gone out of Aston Villa, Abby Davis.
Yeah, quite possibly. 63 minutes on the clock. It's now Aston Villa 2, Lille 1. It was a deep delivery into the area. Goodmanson completely unmarked at the back post. He kept his composure. A stunning finish to beat Emi Martinez. Martinez absolutely superb up to that point. There was nothing he could do. Not helped out by his back line at all there. It's Aston Villa 2, Lille 1, 64 gone.
Well, according to the Opta supercomputer, Liverpool had a 35.2% chance of winning the competition before tonight, a 57.8% chance of making the final before tonight, but I think their chances have been slightly hampered by tonight's display and the fact that they've trailed by 2 goals to 0. Here is Ruggieri down the left side for Atalanta, powering forward, does well enough to beat Scamacca, who's on a hat-trick. Gets it back to the centre circle, and Ederson combines well with De Ketelaer, and then out towards the wide right, and Zappacosta's crossing the boxes, aimed towards Koopmeiners, who rose up with Joe Gomez didn't get there, but the ball ran loose and Pasalic got there before any red shirt. He was quickest to it. And Atalanta on the attack with Derone now, who's about 15 yards short of the penalty area left side. Sends it square to Jim Seating. He goes wide to Zappacosta again. And then back it comes towards Ederson. And Atalanta quite content to see it back to their goalkeeper with 21.5 minutes to go, didn't they?
Pretty obvious where they are. They are just waiting to intercept and pounce on the space.
Gakpo picks it up as they make a loose pass and Szoboszlai feeds the Dutchman after they turned it over. He's got it back again 6 yards short of the penalty area. Endo to the left where it's helped on by Van Dijk into the path of Robertson. And then back to Van Dijk again. And Liverpool just biding their time here. Forward towards McAllister. Spins away. Tries to play out wide right, but the route to Mo Salah was cut off by Martin Derone. Scamacca then manages to escape a challenge from Konate and then play the ball out beautifully to Zappacosta over on the far side.
He's a strong boy, isn't he? Scamacca uses his body well to hold the ball up, but also got good feet as well. He's licked well, played a few dangerous passes before getting himself in the box.
Let's go back to Villa Park. Another development for Abby Davis.
Yeah, 66 minutes gone. Reprieve for Aston Villa and their back line because Gudmundsson's goal has been ruled out for offside. It's Aston Villa 2, Lille 0. It was a really, really close call. We don't get the benefit of seeing the lines on the screen that we have here, but it looked incredibly tight. I thought he was onside. He peeled away from his marker, completely free out on that left-hand side. So you would have thought he'd be able to maintain in line with Villa's back line, but it looked like he'd gone too early then because the decision has been made. The goal is chalked off and it remains Aston Villa 2, Lille 0, 66 on the clock.
Well, they're leading. West Ham against Bayer Leverkusen. Still 0-0 in Germany, which is a very good result for David Moyes and his team if it stays like that.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I think that was a tough draw for Leverkusen.
Here is Diaz over on the left-hand side, trying to feed the ball into Salah, who took an extra touch on the edge of the D. Lost it momentarily, but Liverpool got it back with Gomez, who shoots right-footed. And it's well wide of goal. 254th senior appearance tonight, Joe Gomez, without a goal.
Yeah, I mean, the opportunity was there. Took the snapshot on. But there is a reason why he hasn't scored, and that's because he hit part of the ground before the ball. So it ended up shanking it wide, and that has to be an area when you've got Bradley and Trent Alexander-Arnold on your bench, and Gomez is getting a lot of the ball. It has to be an area that Jurgen Klopp, I'm sure, will look at. Also, Jota, the slotter, is waiting to come on. He rarely misses a chance, does he?
Doesn't actually sound that pleasant, that, does it? I get what you're saying, but it's being gone. You're listening to talkSPORT. And he's only got one substitution left. You've gone now. Here it is. Robertson up to Gakpo, holds off the attentions of Hine, and then it's collected on the right side by Jim Seaty, who's in a bit of a wrestling match with McAllister. And then it's not a great ball, is it, again? And once again they've turned it over quickly and De Ketelaere is escaping. Out to the wide right, Zappacosta does brilliantly to keep it in. McAllister goes across, wires into a challenge. And it's out of play for a throw-in.
Well, the position we're in, so high up in this stand, you get a great view tactically of the game, and you just can see it the minute that Liverpool lose the ball, those spaces that are there for Atalanta because of the amount of attacking players they have got on the pitch. You just can see that it would only take one pass to dissect the Liverpool defence.
Gakpo, who is penalised. And Diego Jota is warming up on this near touchline. Started training again this week. He was pictured in training this week, and you just wonder whether or not they're protecting him ahead of the running, and whether they think it's necessary to use him. It looks as if he is going to get changed. At least be ready if called upon in the next few minutes. We've got 17 to go. Liverpool behind here. They haven't lost in this stadium since Real Madrid beat them 34 games ago. That was in the Champions League round of 16 last February. It was a chastening defeat as well, 5-2 the final scoreline. And this is a bit of a chastening defeat should this be the full-time scoreline, Dean Ashton.
Oh, it would. It'd be a fantastic result for Atalanta, and certainly not one that many would have expected. I thought they were capable of scoring here, no doubt. But if they were able to keep Liverpool out, that would be incredible.
De Ketelaere trying to get away from Van Dijk, not an easy thing to do. He stretches out his arm, pushes him away and said, no, thank you very much. And Kelleher sweeps up on the edge of the area and is urged forward to push the ball into Robertson. Robertson out to Gakpo, far touchline. He turns, moves infield, plays it back to McAllister. McAllister across to Canate. Liverpool's home record in this tournament pretty impressive. 25 home matches in the Europa League since they've only lost one of those, but they might be losing here. And Skamaka is away down the left-hand side again. Up they turn the ball over. He senses it, takes a deflection off Canate and goes into the arms of Kelleher and brings it away. Atalanta have only won one of their last 7 away matches across all competitions, but they're in front by 2-0 here tonight. And Liverpool just not really playing with the requisite speed or penetration to get the better of their back line.
Really, that should have been another opportunity for Skamaka. Does he realise he's on a hat-trick? Ball was brilliantly played to him by Koopmeiners, who'd stolen it off Endo and played him in down the left-hand side. He just sort of dawdled over it to it, Skamaka. I was thinking, go on, attack this, get out of your feet and take the strike on for your hat-trick.
I think Liverpool will be pretty pleased that he didn't. Jota is stripped and he is ready for action. And a rescue act is incoming. He doesn't miss the chances that the others do. He is pretty deadly, pretty accurate, and they are taking no chances here. Endo off, Jota on. It means that that's the final change for Jurgen Klopp. And it's his first appearance since February's knee injury. He is available and ready to go. And they have Luis Diaz, Mo Salah, Diogo Jota, Cody Gakpo, McAllister and Szoboszlai all on the pitch now. This assertive-looking team. Immediately turns to defender Jerome, gets into the area, and he goes down under pressure. And I think the referee is going to give a foul here. And I'm not sure that that's outside the area. The referee says free kick right on the edge. We'll have to see it again. But it's very close to being a penalty. It's just outside the area.
It is. The challenge is outside and Jota falls into the area. But the challenge between the legs is outside of the penalty area. Difficult decision for the referee, but he made it pretty quickly.
Yeah, and it's right on the chalk of the white line of the penalty area, down this right side. They've been allowed to pull the ball back just a little bit, and Robertson wants to swing this one into the box. Ruggieri has picked up a yellow card as a result of that challenge. Immediately, Jota has come off the bench to make an impact. Liverpool 0, Atalanta 2 on talkSPORT. And the free kick is incoming from Dominik Szoboszlai on this near side. He will maybe defer to Andy Robertson, but the two of them are standing over the ball. It's like a short corner in hockey. They both wait, look up. There's 6 to aim at inside the box. It is Szoboszlai who sends it far post, it's headed away, comes out of the box, and Gomez, who's encouraged to shoot, does, and again sends it right over the top of the bar. And Dean Ashton sort of leans back as if to say, why? And I suppose you've got to look at it from an odds point of view. The expected goals for that particular scenario is very low when Joe Gomez is over the ball. Would it not have been better to hold it and then try and slip it in behind the defence for someone to run onto again?
Yes, and looking at Jurgen Klopp's reaction, I think he absolutely agrees with me. It's a ridiculous decision from Gomez when you've still got everybody in the penalty area. You can just recycle it wide, keep the pressure on. Like you said, the likelihood of him scoring, there's more chance of me growing hair back in the next 10 minutes than Gomez, I think, flashing that into the top corner. To do the right thing. And what he's done is he's got caught up with the supporters shouting shoot because they are desperate for him to score. That's not the right thing to do.
Given away by Ruggieri, and now Diaz is scampering clear. He's fed the ball down the left channel. The ball is too heavy for Diogo Jota. Now comes the goalkeeper and slides towards the ball, picks it up, and he'll take his time over this. He'll get back to his feet eventually. It is Liverpool 0, Atalanta 2 in the Europa League, live on talkSPORT with Village Hotels. Visit villagehotels.com.
Haim, who's been yellow carded earlier in the first half, he's really composed himself after a couple of scary moments at the start of the second half. He's in the middle of that back three. He's marshalled it very well actually in this second half.
Alvarez is big this weekend. Here is Robertson, big gap to run into. Sends the ball to the far post. Salah is there! He's not going to miss! Offside flag has gone up though, and it may well stop Liverpool from getting back in the game. There will be a VAR check. There was a huge ocean of space for Robertson to run into in between left wing back and centre half. He galloped down the left side of the box. He exploited it, and he saw Salah lurking at the far post. It's very tight, but I think he's just offside. He went a little bit early, Mo Salah.
He did. He was just anxious, wasn't he, to make sure that he was slightly ahead when that ball got played across from Robertson. Brilliant, brilliant underlapping run from Robertson. Jimsiti was out of position because he'd followed Gakpo. The space was there. He drove into it, Robertson. It was a great ball across as well to Salah. He was just gone a bit early.
They did do a check to see whether or not the player was offside in the build-up to the goal. That check was over pretty quickly. Wave play on the referee. And they're underway. Well, there's a handball here against Alexis McAllister. A good 10 yards outside the box. I don't think he knew too much about it. Canate may or will have been the one who's been penalised, but actually it was McAllister who argued with the referee. Went up and it hit him on the arm, but he sort of hit his head, then his shoulder, then his arm. And it was a little bit unfair, I think, to penalise him for that, since that's, I think you're not supposed to really be penalised when you head the ball onto your own arm.
Head, shoulders, knees and arm.
That was a little bit unnecessary, wasn't it? And the referee felt given a free kick in a dangerous position.
Again, Scamacca, difficult to handle. Great body position when that ball's coming up. Making it difficult there for Canate.
That ball whipped in by Koopmeiners towards the far post, a header back across the face of goal, and Scamacca sends a header over the top of the crossbar from 4 yards out. That could have been a hat-trick.
Oh, it should have been. Jimsiti does brilliantly on that far side when the ball comes across. Rather than going for goal, he just helps it across. Scamacca's got 3 players round him, and just about they do enough to put him off the header, and he gets ahead of it. He's then stretching back, tries to keep it down, and just heads it over from 4 yards out. But I think that's actually good defending in terms of 3 players round him, pushing him and shoving him as he's trying to header.
Could that be the moment that spares Liverpool's blushes in the Europa League? Because a third goal there, the tie is certainly over. And he's had a couple of big chances to further the Atalanta lead as Liverpool in desperation chasing down this 2-goal deficit, leaving themselves a little bit vulnerable at the back. And they have conceded further chances to the Italians, but it remains just the 2-0. And 2-0 is strikeable for a team like Liverpool. Even if they haven't been at their best tonight, they know that they can go and cause damage in Italy. And they won't be favourites, not anymore, but they still have a chance. It's maybe an outside chance, a much smaller opportunity than they had at the beginning of this game. But with players like Jota coming back and Salah available from the start, Trent Alexander-Arnold back in the fold, I hope that they can turn it round. Will be great amongst that Liverpool support that travel to Bergamo in a week's time, and the commentary will be live on talkSPORT from the quarter-finals of this Europa League. Here's Szoboszlai just left of the centre circle. Back it goes to Van Dijk, into Szoboszlai again. He moves forward into the edge of the halfway line. He's given the ball away to Scamacca with a poor pass, and then there was an opportunity to get it to Pasalic, and then it runs through to Ederson, who's inside the box. This to finish it, comes back to Pasalic. It's in, it's 3-0, and Liverpool are in massive trouble in the Europa League. Pasalic provided the finishing touch. It was another mess at the back for Liverpool. Skamaka got away after a mistake by Szoboszlai, and when the ball ended up in the middle of the 6-yard box, the first effort was saved from Kottmeiners off Kelleher. He came back to Pasalic, and he was not going to miss. And these opportunities that Atalanta have racked up have been ruthlessly taken, and Liverpool are finding themselves with a mountain to climb to stay in the Europa League. It's a stunning performance from Atalanta, who have come here and they have snatched what looks like now a certain place in the semi-finals, and barring a miracle comeback in a week's time, Liverpool are going to be out of the competition before they've really got into the business end.
Well, well, well. Who expected this scoreline at Anfield? But they've stolen another goal. They've stolen the ball off Szoboszlai. Driven at the Liverpool defence once again. Skamaka fakes to shoot. Lovely reverse pass into Ederson. And they just took a deflection as Gakpo just comes ahead now.
Here's Robertson into the box. Tries to chip it over the goalkeeper. It's cleared off the line by Ruggieri. And now he's away again, Skamaka. Moving at pace, sending the ball down the left-hand side. Picked up by Kottmeiners, 85 on the clock. The ball down the left-hand side, Liverpool on the attack. And it's picked up by Konate, and it's cleared away by Liverpool. Diaz misplaces a pass. Leverkusen go in front against West Ham on talkSPORT 2. Here is Gakpo, out to the far side. Robertson takes it on. Diaz has got it now. What a couple of big mistakes. Here's Diaz from the edge of the area. His shot's parried away by the goalkeeper, who dives to his left. Desperation, urgency about Liverpool. They must get something in the final 5 minutes if they've got any hope of trying to turn this tie around in a week's time, Dean Ashton.
Oh, absolutely. You'd think it's an incredible result so far for Atalanta. Tactically, he's got it absolutely spot on. Gasparini, he said he wanted to come here and enjoy this atmosphere. Well, it's his own supporters that he's enjoying here.
Well, the noise from our left-hand side and those blue-shirted Atalanta supporters is vibrant. They know that victory is just literally minutes away now. It's not an insurmountable scoreline. Liverpool have pulled off stunning comebacks before. But in Bergamo, against an Atalanta team that are very good at home and are a very well-organised side, it is going to be incredibly tricky. And what it does do, Dean, is it causes Liverpool pain. It disrupts their rhythm. It highlights their flaws ahead of what is a very tight title race as well.
Oh, it does. It does. And, you know, it might have just been the perfect timing for Atalanta. With the result of the weekend against Manchester United, players coming back from injury and in and around the squad, and a couple of changes needed because of the schedule, and they've just taken full advantage. They've been really, really ruthless when it comes to those counter-attacks. When they've won it, they have got white shirts forward against that Liverpool defence. There's not many teams that come here and do that.
Well, they had only lost one of their last 25 matches in the Europa League before tonight. Their last defeat in this competition at Anfield was 12 years ago. Atalanta have suffered in their last 2 ties at this level. Maybe it's going to be a third time lucky for them. And if you were wondering, the other 2 teams that have managed to beat Everton and Liverpool in European competition at their home grounds, it was Benfica and Lyon.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got it.
Never would have got it, would you? Never.
Nope.
I wonder if anyone did. I'm sure there's too many Liverpool fans who are interested in that tonight. They're interested in this scoreline, and the fallout on the sports bar is going to be rather fascinating. 03717 223344 is the number to call if you want to get through to the boys. Taking your calls as soon as we finished here. Here is Cody Gakpo running through the centre circle, trying to release the ball down the left-hand side. 2.5 to go. It's the Atalanta fans that you can hear away to our left. Leverkusen leading West Ham by 1-0. Atalanta beating Liverpool at Anfield tonight. This is a huge, stunning result. Atalanta, who have won only one of their last 7 away matches across all competitions. And the only light on the English horizon tonight has come at Villa. Abby Davis.
Yeah, 84 minutes on the clock. It is now Aston Villa 2, Lille 1. It was an in-swinging corner from the left, met at the near post by Diakite, whose glancing header ended up in the bottom right-hand corner. 6 minutes for Aston Villa to cling on to this lead, to have an advantage going into the second leg. Villa 2, Lille 1, 84 gone.
A couple of changes incoming. Atalanta are going to make the first of their changes, and it's going to be De Ketelaere, who's just come back from an injury himself, actually, who's going to be replaced by Moranchuk, who was so good in the previous round of this competition. He's coming on for De Ketelaere.
Yeah, he was excellent as well in an away game against Napoli. Moranchuk, very different player, that's for sure. And De Ketelaere, he's been outstanding as well.
Yeah, he really has, and he's pushing to try and get into the team because of Moranchuk and Koopmeiners being so useful. De Ketelaere has a struggle getting in the first team week to week. He's certainly influenced the play tonight, that is for sure. Mistake by Canate, almost gave it straight to Moranchuk, but Liverpool bring it away. We're into the final minute of the 90, and it's 3-0 to Atalanta on what is a stunning night at Anfield. And as much as that Real Madrid defeat hurt a year or so ago, this one will hurt, I think, even more. Real Madrid beating you in the Champions League last 16, it hurts, but you can understand it. Liverpool losing 3-0 at home in the Europa League quarter-finals to Atalanta, that has a different sting about it.
Oh, it does. It absolutely does. Especially when you're heavy favourites here at Anfield. But again, you know, if you don't take your chances at this level, these sides can hurt you.
3 minutes of added time. Diaz picks it up edge of the area, sends it square. Gomez, who's urged not to shoot this time, feeds the ball to Szoboszlai instead, who shoots it down the throat of the goalkeeper. He should have done better with that.
Yeah, he should. It was a really good pass from Gomez. He made the right decision this time into Szoboszlai. Maybe the ball was just a little bit too straight. He hadn't got it out of his feet properly. But still, should be looking either side of the goalkeeper.
Gomez again, moving the ball forward. Diaz takes it over. He's 5 yards outside the box. There's a slip in front of him, but he sends it square onto Robertson. Now on the outside is Gakpo. Left side, produces a cross. Jota is there with a header. He's leaning backwards, a bit too high for him, and he went wide of the goal, away to our right. And maybe that's the last chance gone. There are 3 minutes of added time. We played 30 seconds of those. Manchester City go first in the title race this week, live on the network. Will be round the ground Saturday 3 p.m. Sunday, we've got the Sunday session. Liverpool welcome Palace, and Arsenal entertain Aston Villa. Arguably that Arsenal have the most difficult tie of the weekend. Everything will be coming on talkSPORT, but Liverpool will hope that there's no hangover.
No, again, they'll have to move on very, very quickly from this game. Can they just steal one here at the end?
Diaz with Gakpo to his left. Diaz again, didn't give it back to him in time. There was the opportunity to do so, and it's been the decision-making tonight that has let Liverpool down.
Yeah, it has. It has, because they've got the players on the pitch, but again, you know, people say those chances. Nunez in the first half, they were unlucky with Elliott hitting the crossbar and post. And then Salah with a half chance, but they haven't created loads in this second half.
This might be the most significant defeat of the season for Jurgen Klopp and his team. 2-0 to Leverkusen in Germany. It's not going very well for the Europa League teams tonight from the Premier League. Aston Villa holding on to an advantage. Leverkusen beating West Ham 2-0. Here, Liverpool under the cosh, under the pump, 3-0 to Atalanta. Into the box they come, Liverpool. Maybe one last chance from a corner. They've got a deflection.
Or can the captain, Virgil van Dijk, step up and head them? A lifeline.
Here is the corner to be taken by Andy Robertson. Far side, the left. Anfield starting to empty as the ball goes in towards Van Dijk, who heads it into the air. It drops inside the box. No one takes charge. Canate is there too. Eventually it's cleared by the Atalanta defence. We've played 92 minutes and 35 seconds on talkSPORT. Here is Szoboszlai, weaving his way into a shooting position. Sends it over the top of the defence instead. Taken down by Jota. He then brings it on. Edge of the box is Diaz. Good little touch. Then tries to weave his way infield, but he gets involved in traffic. They almost get it clear, then do get it clear, and then it's run up towards the halfway line, and Keller has to come out quickly to ensure that there's no further problems. The referee is going to stop the game here. He looks as if he's going to blow the full-time whistle. There it is. It's victory for Atalanta. Atalanta send a shiver down the Anfield spine. Their players drop to the floor. They look to the heavens. They know that this is a fabulous and significant victory. It's a huge victory. It's a good job that Liverpool have recent history with Atalanta at their place, because otherwise this result might send a few into absolute panic. The big favourites for the Europa League have lost the first leg of the quarter-final, and not just lost it, they've been thrashed 3-0 at home, their first defeat in over a year in this stadium. Whether it goes down to team selection, shot selection, decision-making of any kind, this is a stinger of a result. It's the first defeat at Anfield since Real Madrid came here and beat them. But it is a massive, massive defeat which Liverpool are going to struggle to overturn in a week's time in Bergamo. Goals from Scamacca twice and Pasalic with 7 minutes to go have really put Jurgen Klopp's team to the sword. They made 6 changes tonight. It didn't work. They've been beaten at home by 3-0.
Nobody expected this. The overwhelming favourites for the Europa League have been outclassed at home. There were no flags in the Kop end tonight. It was a protest against season ticket price increases, and after tonight's performance they'll be asking for a price reduction. What a night for Ledea. The team known as the Goddess are in absolute heaven. Jurgen Klopp was meant to be leaving Liverpool with a trophy in his hands, but after the disappointment at Old Trafford at the weekend and an abject result tonight, he could be departing Anfield with his tail between his legs. Incredible. Dean Ashton, what do you make of that?
I'm shocked, because you just don't expect that sort of performance, especially here at Anfield from Liverpool, where they never even felt as if there was that genuine feeling that they were going to score towards the end. Normally you're expecting a rip-roaring end, you know, shots going in at the opposition. There wasn't that. Too many times, like Sam said, the decision-making was poor. Is that down to fatigue? Is that down to, you know, player selection, or even, you know, players coming back from injury? It does take you a few games, a few weeks to get back into your stride and get your quality back. Either way, let's give a lot of praise to Gasperini and this Atalanta team, because he got it spot on in the way they've set up. They've been brave in the way that when they have won the ball back, the amount of players that they've got forward, they've sensed the weaknesses in the Liverpool side down the sides, and they've took full advantage of it.
And at this point in time, Atalanta's players celebrating in front of the Nerazzurri, their fans in black and blue, who have come here to Anfield, where they won back in 2020 in front of nobody because of the closed doors due to COVID. Now they can celebrate the moment. Now they can soak it in. I've got to say, it wasn't a usual Liverpool tonight. It wasn't a usual Anfield tonight. And as you mentioned, Dean, you never got that sense in the closing stages that the late show that they've had so often Liverpool was going to come. I don't know what to blame it on this evening. You mentioned the changes, but when you look at the carelessness with which Liverpool gave the ball away for the goals, you think about the concentration being completely absent, sleeping for the second goal for Scamacca. By the way, wonderful finish. West Ham fans will be wondering, where on earth was this guy at the London Stadium? Because the second goal was a side foot with the left foot, his bad foot, on the half volley as he runs through on goal, and he had ice in his veins to make it 2. But then the third goal, given away cheaply, possession by Szoboszlai this time, once again. And the numbers forward and the ease with which the runs were made from midfield, the passes were found, and the shots were got off at Kelleher is something that Jurgen Klopp surely has to address. They've if you like, run the risk far too often in their games this season, and tonight they were punished for it.
They were, but you expect them still to score goals. You expect, you know, if Atalanta were going to win this game, it was going to be a 3-2 or a 2-1. You didn't expect this scoreline. I certainly didn't, because they carry such a threat, Liverpool, and they were so disappointing, especially in the second half, not to create any golden opportunities. And Musa made a couple of decent saves, but nothing where he was properly stretched in that second half.